T derivative still.
There she is. There she is.
Welcome to Jill's.
Can I offer you some tea?
Good tea. Nice house.
Would you make me some of that lo-make soup? Greetings and felicitations.
Hello and welcome to Plomique Tea Time number 130. And we're really very close to Halloween, less than halfway there through the month to Halloween. And so, as suggested, I did turn off my lights to watch this movie. Definitely helps with the atmosphere. But what is even more scary than the monster itself is the paranoia it induces pretty expertly. Today, we're talking about John Carpenter's The Thing. And of course, there's a little more to that theme than that. It's a little bit longer than that, but I just wanted to play a few seconds of it. And if this were any old horror monster movie, it might be a good movie, but I might look for something else to review. But when I realized we had an alien here, it had my attention just based on that. I'm not that tough to satisfy. But here, also, hello. And it's so much it's so much more than that. It's more even than just an alien. Makes it even better. And of course, we've got it set on a science base in Antarctica. I like the setting. We never truly know what the scientists are even doing there, but it's their intelligence and creativity that make the mystery also more fun. And that coupled with the success of the movie's ability to make you feel cramped and isolated pairs with the paranoia really well. And so we're going to break down the thing and see what it says about what happens when first contact isn't really that interested in seeing what you have to say about it. So, is because assimilation and happens and resistance is futile. So let's talk about this movie. There's a reason we're still talking about it 43 years later. Here with me to talk about this movie is Scotty R37. Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing today? And what's your experience with this film? I only just watched it for the first time all the way through yesterday. And of course I knew about it because I haven't been living under a rock. I know basically at least the dog. I knew about the dog thing before actually watching the movie. So even if you don't know about the thing, even if you haven't seen the thing, you know about it.
Yeah,
So
and this was sort of the same situation that I had with The Thing. I had seen Escape from New York and Escape from LA. It was way late into my movie watching that I really dove deep into John Carpenter movies. And then I saw this and had to absorb, no pun intended, absolutely everything that there was to know about it, and fell in love with it and just celebrate it, watch it relatively frequently. I don't want to wear it out, but yeah, I think this is fantastic, and probably John Carpenter's best movie, in my opinion.
you think it's his best? I never thought of ranking his movies before. I did like Escape from New York though, so I don't know. And I love They Live. Hmm.
I
So
love
I want to.
Escape from New York, but in terms of the technical proficiency, I think that this one is just for what it like presents on screen with suspension of disbelief. I think it looks amazing, even though it is revolting, and I think it is probably his most technically proficient movie.
Oh yes, definitely the effects are something to sing home about. I want to also welcome Tiger Stripes. It's great to see you here.
Hey, it's great to be here. Oh, I seem very loud. Is it just me?
No, you sound wonderful to me. What do
Okay,
you
then
think?
I'll take it. I'll just turn my volume
I
down.
mean,
Yeah,
if
no, I'm
you
thrilled to be here. Incredible movie. Fantastic film. Just so how were you disturbed this morning when you watched it, yesterday?
oh, yes, I was. And I
Yeah.
don't know, I don't remember
It's
my
not
dreams, whether or
not one
not
for the
that's
kiddies.
my brain protecting me or not.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it in the theater. I think I saw a preview, and the audience was one of those things where I just lucked into it. And I was sitting next to Larry Niven, who held my hand through the film. I actually, here's where I just sort of let everybody know. No, I told him, I don't want you to hold my hand because my hand is just wringing wet, but we can hold pinkies. But he offered because I was uptight, and I screamed through through a great deal of the movie. A row or two ahead of us was Harlan Ellison, and Harlan laughed through this film, loud and long, cackled. And I never asked him why. I wish I had. I
You
wish
had
I'd
to. Why did you
taken
think
that
this movie
opportunity.
was
I
so
don't
funny?
know. In retrospect, now that I look back on it, I wonder, was he laughing at my screaming? Was he just that perverse? But I don't know.
Yes.
So I got to see it in a theater, with the big crowd and the whole thing, and it did not unhinge me the way Alien did. Interestingly, I gotta wonder if that's because it was just a male crew, just men. Is that an element that somehow didn't, probe my psyche, so much more thoroughly?
That's interesting because I thought my psyche was more probed and unhinged a little bit at the end of the movie, rather than as much of. Since I wasn't in a theater, I wasn't screaming as much, but there was definitely some startles and some scares there that were
I was
well
younger
timed.
then and more inclined to scream.
But it just the opportunity to have seen this for the first time in the theater would have been really, really cool. Obviously,
It was
it
pretty
didn't
swell.
exist yet, so
Yeah, it was pretty swell. Imagine I
I
was
don't.
probably there with the beau of the day. Hard to.
Oh,
I just
nice.
remember Larry though, because he was such a comfort.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah,
really neat. That was
yeah.
you. So this was a science fiction convention, and y'all all went to the theater.
No, no. I was a member of a club in Los Angeles. And because we were in Los Angeles, we often had opportunities for preview passes and lot passes and that kind of thing. I think that the people in Hollywood acknowledged the club that way, and that people who were members of the club might generate word of mouth. It wasn't like there was a quiz to take afterward. It wasn't a test screening. They were, well, I've been to test screenings, and you do sometimes take a quiz afterward. So,
Oh, okay. They don't make you do the survey during the movie. You can make
no.
it
Well,
was open.
I was at one film once where you actually had a control that you could dial to show when your interest was up and your interest was down.
Oh, okay. That's kind of neat. But
It
also,
was
I want to.
interesting.
That's awesome. I've never been to a screening like that. That's kind of neat. But I want to also welcome everybody who's here in the chat. Gavin knows that some of the slides on this one are going to be spicy. And so he's going to have a light meal. I promise, actually, just for the algorithm's sake, I'm not going to linger on those slides, and I don't have all of them. There were some of them where I was like, maybe I shouldn't take that one. That one's too much. So yeah, so even today, 1982, some of the screen grabs in the thing are too much, I think, too spicy for YouTube. But I did get some of them. I'm not, but I won't dwell on them. So when you see them, you've got 3 seconds to look at them. 3 to 5 seconds, I think. And so also hello to Kimberly and Knight. And yeah, and also Snortopupus, Q Burr, hello.
Koopas.
Yeah. Oh, and Kim also voted in the poll. There is a poll. And actually, this poll I'll have up until the end of the movie, and then I'm going to put up a different poll. So we're going to have 2 polls today,
Hmm.
and that'll be fun. And his internet is dropping. Oh no, I hope it stays up. Fox Hills? Hey, Fox Hills! I feel like I just met you yesterday, and it's good to see you again. Over on the Tony Show.
Spiderhead does whatever a spiderhead does.
Yes, there is a spider head, which will go on to inspire Toy Story. No, I don't really know that for sure. And hello to Franco Walker. Please subscribe and hit the bell, share, hit like, and select live chat. And he also thinks this is a great film. And he saw it in 88 to 89. Hey, Greek Letters is here too. The Thing isn't a movie. It is a documentary. Oh. John Carpenter knew. He tried to warn us. Through his movies. Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, if that's the case, then we're all the Thing today, and we don't even know it.
John Carpenter's not dead, is he?
Well, I think that's a joke. Hopefully.
Nope.
Trolling.
77 years old.
Trolling.
Yes, that's why I didn't read that part of the.
I appreciate that greatly. Yeah. Sowing that kind of confusion in people's minds about death is not a good thing to do, in my opinion.
No. Not unless you're doing visual wordplay, which might be okay, but yeah, it's got. If I don't read part of the chat, that means I didn't want to read that part of the chat. But it's okay.
Okay.
Old Man Bird says the poll's choices are beyond my comprehension. Oh, did I make them too confusing? I should have worked on that a little better. Because you only have so little space to write what you want to write, and I was trying to condense paragraphs of what I wanted to say into 3 words. Oh well, I can't win them all. Hopefully it's understandable enough for people to make a choice. Hello to Peepers. Hey.
Peepers.
Good to see you too. I've seen you on other channels also. And let's see who else is here. Oh yeah, Gavin's still here. That's awesome. I saw this when I was 14 because I thought I was hard. You thought you were you're tough stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's part of the reason why I didn't see it until later on, is just because I was kind of afraid of it. And then I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, you were correct. There are a couple of movies that I've been afraid to see, and then I see them and I'm like, that wasn't so bad. And then I saw The Thing and I was like, oh yeah, no, you were right to be afraid.
Yeah.
So because I got up at 5 this morning and saw your alert for this movie, which I just have to be here for this. I have to. I rewatched the film, but with Carpenter and Russell doing commentary, which was, it's pretty epic. And then I watched half of a featurette. I wish I'd seen it all, but they had the effects artist who did the burn for the original title card. And that was really interesting to hear him talk about. It was old school special effects. He basically got a fish tank and had the logo cut out and taped to, like the inside of the fish tank. And then behind it had a sheet of black garbage bag. And so he shone a light through it and then set the garbage back on fire. So just
and
really old school.
That's how you do the logo. That's great.
Yeah, it was amazing to hear.
And in terms of that logo, John Carpenter was a big fan of the 1951 Thing from Another World. And that's a recreation of that original title card as well.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that movie as well.
Well, and
Before we even get that great logo, we actually get this spaceship. So yeah,
yes,
we have a we
Made
don't
by
even
a
get to see the
woman.
logo
I
yet.
was
Yeah,
fascinated to learn
yes,
that.
Susan. Oh, Susan. I have her in my notes, but I haven't gotten there yet. So I'm trying to find her last name.
well, and I watched the audio commentary as well, or listened to the audio commentary with the film, and then I watched the movie again without it. And it was interesting to hear the original plans for the intro where the spaceship was going to happen, then the credit sequence, and then we get into Antarctica 1982. But apparently there was something going on with like the Directors Guild. They weren't allowed to show a pre-title sequence or some such. And so this follows the credits, the opening credits proper. And so I think it would have been better the way that the way that Carpenter wanted to do it, but
How did he want to do
similarly,
it? I missed
he
that part.
he wanted to open it with the spaceship coming crashing to Earth, and
I
then we do
actually
the
would think this
titles.
movie would be better if it ended with the spaceship crashing into Earth, even though it happens first.
Well,
Oh,
but
not
and
maybe ended, but maybe a cut sequence when they actually discover the spaceship, like not knowing it's an alien at first would be kind of neat.
well, like it's kind of like in Predator where you see the spaceship go by Earth, and then we're all waiting for the alien to show up. With this one, I find it interesting. It would have been great at the very beginning to have the spaceship show up and then crash, or you see it enter the atmosphere and start to burn up, and then the title cards indicate the passage of time. Because as we discover, it's like, oh, this thing's been here for
Thousands of
100,000
years.
years, and so I think it would have added to.
Was it 100 or this?
They're ballparking.
Okay. Susan Turner. Susan Turner is the one who built the alien
I
ship.
remembered the Turner part.
I remembered the
yeah.
Susan part. Oh, together we
Yeah.
remembered the whole name.
That's good. I don't remember the spaceship when I saw the film in the theater, which is kind of funny. And in the commentary, Carpenter points out that the film does not start with the Universal logo. And yet the version that I watched just now did. So that might have been something that had been subsequently put in.
But that also
that
could have been just
my
on the
copy started
disc.
with Kurt Russell. Yeah, with logos and then Kurt Russell.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah, it could be. It could be that you just get the Universal on the
Yeah, on the DVD release.
Mhm. Oh, and there's your
Yeah, there's
aquarium.
the burnout.
So cool.
And so
good.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
And so hold on. So before we get started with the movie, I had a few things. So this is based on the story called Who Goes There by John W. Campbell. And also I only wanted to mention this because of Star Trek, but I saw Alan Whitlock does some of the visual effects in this movie. So, and he did a lot of Star Trek.
He does the matte paintings. He's a matte
Yeah,
painter.
well, that makes sense. He does more matte paintings here. Yay. Okay, so also there's this this movie this actual story was adapted before for another movie in the 50s, and it didn't really follow 1951. The Thing from Another World didn't exactly follow the novella as much, and so but Carpenter really, really loved it. It was a great movie, so he was hesitant to do this one until he read the original story, and he figured he could do something new with it, and so then he did.
Yeah, there's been a recent novella, long short story called The Things. That is the story from the alien's point of view. It is even more disturbing. I do not recommend it. Cannot recommend. I think it won an award or two.
Really? Actually, I'm
Yeah.
slightly interested in that. We don't ever get to talk to the thing and say, "Hey,
It's
why do you want to
disturbing.
take over our planet?" But basically, it's just they think they're better than us, and they're going to be us, and they might need our planet. Who knows what their real motivations actually are? But the mystery of it kind of makes it a little bit scarier. Hey, Melvin Deeply, I want to thank you so much for the £5 super chat.
Ka-ching!
Pineapple on pizza.
Pounds. That's real money.
It is. It's real money. Pineapple on pizza is more disgusting than the Norris creature. Whoa, those are fighting words for people.
Fighting words, indeed.
Fans of pineapple on pizza may want to have a word with you. Although, but pineapple on pizza that's basically the Horta, but the Horta doesn't have any pineapple.
Well, and as long as we're highlighting controversial opinions, I have had many a conversation with people who have said that there's no such thing as a good remake, and I present to you The Thing. And so, pineapple on pizza. Some people like sweet and savory.
Yeah, as long as there's some ham on there too. If it's just pineapple, I wouldn't understand it. But I would never buy pineapple on pizza. But if it's free, I'm not going to say no to free food.
I believe I would. Pass.
No,
I love pizza.
I'll have it. Yeah, I'll have pineapple on pizza.
Why didn't
it's not
you
my favorite, but I'll have it.
Yeah.
But we digress.
we do, but we digressed for Melvin because Melvin's here, and then I should have played a video.
Yeah,
for him.
£5. Yeah, Melvin gets a clip.
5 pounds of pineapple.
Something. Let's see, £5. I don't have anything pineapple related or anything.
No SpongeBob.
No pizza
pineapple
related.
under the sea.
No pizza either. I don't have. Well, how about?
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
There.
Yeah, that's pretty. That hits the spot.
There you go.
Yeah. So Greek letters also. Oh wait. Snorpoopa says the only polar bears in Antarctica are my cousins, the bipolar bears. No polar bears were harmed during the production of the movie. Snorpoopa. Yeah, that's true. And hello to Canadian Spider-Man.
See us
That is something special about this movie too, is that it says, they work with the Humane Society and dog trainers and all that. So I do appreciate that for a 1982 movie. You mentioned Modelo on Tony's stream a couple of nights ago, Jill. Do you still have one for me? Yeah, I do. I have 3 left. I haven't. They're in my fridge. It's raining, so it's a stay inside and have a beer morning. That's a good kind of morning. Nim 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 says here he goes with the controversy already. I don't know. It's not controversial to say. Some remakes are not that bad. This remake is damn good. But although I haven't seen the first one, but from what I understand, the first one made it more of a. Well, John Carpenter didn't want to make it a monster in a suit, and that's what a lot of sci-fi movies do, and I don't mind that.
Well,
I don't mind that at all. But I like that he wants to be different.
I thought they had a good military team feeling from the first film. That's what I like about it. Everybody's together, everybody's working. It's that alien vibe that I love, where people are working together.
Yeah, and that's the impression I get too, Gavin, that it's not a remake, it's an entirely new thing altogether because
all pun intended.
Because the adaptations are so completely different from though they're from the same story, but the adaptations are so different that one's not a remake of the other.
I think with the direct reference of the title card as being nearly identical from The Thing from Another World, yeah, I'd call this a remake. So, yeah, incorrect. Thanks, Gavin.
We can have opinions and differences of them. Melvin Deeply says The Thing's book was written by Peter Watts, who wrote The Blind Side.
Echopraxia?
Echopraxia, yeah. 2 books about space vampires. They're worth a read.
Okay. That's certainly possible. But the short story I'm thinking of, which is also called The Things, is not that. It's definitely this story from the alien's point of view. very specifically this story, this film with all the names and everything.
Oh, and who goes there also? John W. Campbell, 1930s.
Yeah,
So-
amazing story.
The gods heard you saying that. You're in trouble now, to Franco Walker. Oh, what happened? What did Franco say? I don't know. I don't know why he's in trouble. I think he's okay. I say Franco is all right. And hello to Thrawn Kill. Let's get into this. We're also I'm still looking at some of the introductory stuff here.
Well,
Oh,
and
yeah, and of course he drew from more than one story. That makes sense.
I think it just to sort of eat some crow, Gavin. This movie was lambasted upon its release, obviously released in 1982, and came out in what is arguably one of the greatest years of
Yes,
of
the great
cinema.
year. It's our 39.
You've got E.T.,
Blade Runner.
Wrath of Khan,
Rathcon.
Conan the Barbarian. Like it's
Blade Runner.
You mentioned that, yes.
No, I just
And-
wanted to mention it in between everyone that you said, but I was choking on a biscuit.
No, but I'm just saying it was a huge year, and the reviews were not complimentary. They said I think in the commentary, John Carpenter was referred to as a pornographer of gore.
Pornography of violence, I think they called the movie,
That's
Sure.
it.
which is better than calling him something specifically. But
And
yeah, he thought he'd ruined his career.
well, and I heard an opinion of this is really sort of the kickoff of John Carpenter's disillusionment with making big budget studio movies, and he thought that this was great. Everyone thought it was great until the audience saw it, and the critics eviscerated it. It lost money, so by today's metric, that means that this is a terrible film. And so it goes to show that you don't necessarily have to listen to the critics, because sometimes they're full of shit.
Well, here, Ola Greg says the critical
Ola
reviews
Greg.
were idiotic, and the ones that we remember the most are Siskel and Ebert. Which one liked it and which one didn't like it? I know they didn't.
I know
agree.
Ebert hated it.
Okay, then that
That
means
would
Siskel
figure.
liked it. He gave it a thumbs up. One of them liked it.
But this is also 2 weeks after E.T. came out, and Carpenter himself says, I don't know if that's a thing. But it was like nice friendly alien, followed by this, which is nihilistic, paranoid, claustrophobic, all male cast there, and horrific, and
All male
exactly.
cast and crew.
No, there was a
One
young
woman who left.
Yes,
Yeah.
Candy. I forget
Yeah.
her last name. But,
Thank goodness she left.
No, well, but also in the crew, there are assistant editors and script supervisors and whatnot. And
But
so-
but during the filming, it was all male.
well, script supervisors would have to be there.
Yeah,
during
there were
filming.
ladies who worked on the animation and stuff like that. Ola Greg is here. The Thing is an all-time favorite movie of mine. Oh, that's great. Well,
Nice.
today we're talking about it. Glad you're here. Also, Sergeant Giratina,
Hello.
how are you doing? Yes, and not only did people not like the movie at this time, I guess because there was some other sources say that there was a recession and people wanted to be cheered up and stuff. And so not only did some people not like it, but it also didn't make much money, so it was considered a failure, basically.
But during the commentary I watched, both Carpenter and Russell mentioned more than once that there were no women on the set at all. And once the woman left who was pregnant. And at some point Russell says, so there was no posturing. And I thought that was a really interesting remark. That, he kind of observed that men always hold themselves differently when there's a woman present. And then that's out the window when the girls are gone. I'm like, that's an interesting comment.
That
And
is an
he didn't
interesting
say
comment.
that. That's just, he just said there was no posturing. And I'm like, that's an interesting comment.
Okay. I don't know exactly what that means. I guess.
Oh,
I think
do.
it means that men hold themselves differently
Yeah,
there's a
I can,
woman
I can buy
present. I
that.
think it's almost unconscious. They just can't help it. It's just their
All
nature.
right.
Yes. I am attempting to be on my best behavior, and I'm sure that will go downhill as I'm trying to impress the both of you.
Oh, and there was also, okay, so there were more than one writer. Lots of writers tried to write the thing, but they weren't following the story either, and so Carpenter wanted somebody to do that because they were ignoring the shape-shifting part. And so eventually they found Bill Lancaster. And so he wrote it.
Son of Burt Lancaster.
It was Burt Lancaster.
Really? Wow. Oh, Jill, ouch.
Help her out.
Movie star along the lines of Kirk Douglas. You know who Kirk Douglas is, right?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. Of the
Kinda
same
like
era, the same caliber.
All
I
right.
mean, just, yeah.
I probably know people by face more than by name.
You would probably know Burt Lancaster's face.
He was in the airport movies, Birdman of Alcatraz, The Train, Tough Guys with Kirk Douglas. He was
He's also
in
one of-
Field of Dreams. He was in
Field of Dreams. I might have seen that.
He's also one of those people who's you can do an impression of him by saying his name, Burt Lancaster.
Oh, that's good. That's real good.
I love it when that works out.
Yeah, and so, oh, there was also one thing about the tagline. They had a good tagline from the guy who wrote the one for Alien: In Space, No One Can Hear You Scream. For this one, he wrote, "Man is the warmest place to hide," but they decided to go with a different one. They called The Ultimate Alien Terror, trying to capitalize on Alien, which makes no sense to me. You have the guy who wrote the best tagline from Alien write a great one for this one, but you change it to make people think about Alien. I don't understand that logic. That seems really dumb to me. I like the original tagline.
Well, and as we're speaking of marketing, and remembering the recently passed late great Drew Struzan has an iconic poster for the thing, and it is truly amazing.
Okay, Nim says, yeah, okay, no woman in the movie. You wouldn't be allowed. Would you? I think you could do that today. Like you say, did it benefit the art? I think it did in this particular instance. If there's no women in the movie, if that's the set that you want, if you want to help the actors really feel that kind of thing during filming, then, and if they really do behave differently, then why not help the actors behave the way that they're intended to? Just a little easier that way. Unless you really need, unless you really need one there.
Well, it would be interesting if you had an all male cast, no women in the cast, and the movie was directed by Catherine Bigelow. Would that sate the needs of that particular equity? I think if the story calls for it, then the story deserves whatever elevates the narrative, and whoever can make the movie best should do so. But
I think the art should be free to be created however the people creating it decide to. I don't think it needs. My favorite Star Trek episode only has one lady in it, and it's the Horta herself. So I'm sure. Oh wait.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So if there was a passing woman on the bridge, I don't remember, but I think she's pretty much the only lady. Canadian Spider-Man says it's less complicated when it's only guys. Simps posture a lot around women, and I think it makes things more difficult. I don't really like the word simp because it implies a predatory nature upon the woman herself. And
I
so
also
it's not,
don't think that was Kurt Russell's point.
No,
yeah,
I don't think it was either.
I
But
think
also,
it's more of a gentlemanly kind of thing. Like
yes.
Fox Hill says, I was raised to be respectful to women.
Yes. But everybody has to throw their garlands at Sydney Sweeney these days. So It can have no women whatsoever. But if Sydney Sweeney's in there, then you've got 75% of the fandom menace sitting there going like, "Well,
Yeah.
this is the best
Well,
movie ever."
well, I wouldn't say just them or whatever. I think there are a ton of people who like her. So, but
Well, I'm not part of their ranks.
I'm not either. I don't really know her, or I don't know any of the things she's been in. But anyway, Sims do exist, but that people don't
Oh.
understand what it actually is. It's a predatory thing where the lady is implying that there's some possibility of interaction that is not possible, and that there's a kind of financial predatory nature in that, and that is not like just being friends with the lady is not that. They're not the same
No.
thing.
Yes.
I hate that word so much.
Yeah, I don't want to encourage digression, but when Sydney Sweeney was on SNL a year or two ago, and I was like, who the heck is Sydney Sweeney? My brother said, everybody knows who she is. She's the chick with the boobs. I'm like, okay. Then she came out and in her monologue, she said, I'm sure that 90% of you right now don't know who I am. Let me tell you, I'm the chick with the boobs. And I'm like, okay. All right, then.
Spidey says, well, everyone's equal now, so there's no more putting women on a pedestal.
So you can see up their skirt.
Folks should be treated with respect regardless of sex. I'm sure you all agree. Things are better that way. And I do agree, Canadian.
Old Steve Martin joke.
Men will make stupid decisions when women are on the crew.
I think we're getting off on a tangent, and
yeah, well, it's something that's interesting to my audience, so I don't want to dismiss it outright. I don't know that that's necessarily true. I think if you're logical, if you can be a rational person, then you can put aside that kind of thing.
Well, it's also interesting because the only I don't know if she's credited, but the only female character in the movie is Adrienne Barbeau as
because the
chess computer. And that was John Carpenter's wife at the time, I think. And so,
yes.
So there would, if she had been there might have been a little posturing somewhat along the same lines as Escape from New York.
Yeah, but she just had to do a voice acting, so she didn't need to be there.
Yes.
Northern English Bastard is here.
Hello.
Hail, you beautiful bastards. One of my favorite movies. Oh,
nice.
I'm glad you're here to listen. Old Man Bird says, scribbles notes on how to simp after reading Canadian Spider-Man's comments. Yeah, you don't have to. You just, just be a friend.
Spidey, write a book.
We're all friends here. And
boobs.
Yes. Okay. I don't know how that happened. Oh, right. Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I can think of 2 reasons.
Yeah, those are forgivable, he says. Okay. Maybe in February we could talk you into reviewing romance movies. I don't know. We'll see. Darn Kill says, I work as, well, and wasn't that, well, anyway. I work as longshoremen, and women are 0.05 of our crew, and men will go out of their way to protect them to the point of injury. Well, that's not good. They need to. Well, I mean,
yeah, I don't encourage that. I think that when you're working in a dangerous profession, you have to put yourself first.
Yeah,
also, you're no help to anybody if you yourself are out of.
Yeah, exactly. These men need training and treating everybody equally, like Canadian Spider-Man says. It's just like when you go on an airplane and if they're telling you if those masks fall down and you need the oxygen, you're supposed to take care of yourself first before the other people that you're responsible for.
Like
the babies.
Yes.
Yes, and lifeguards say to each other also,
put it on you first.
Better 2 than 3, better you than me. Meaning if you're going to go out to help somebody, do it. Do the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, anyway, that was a fun tangent. So, oh yeah. Let's see where I am in my notes here. So we have the spaceship. We got the logo.
And that's it. Let's go.
That's it. That's the movie.
Yeah, here we are, 40 minutes in, and
Yeah.
we're almost past the credits.
So the movie starts straight away with that. Well, we got to introduce stuff
That's
with
true.
some pounding drum beats, and so we're gonna.
Oh yeah, I got to mention that Carpenter said that the score was done by Ennio Morricone. Is that true?
What was done?
I was hoping Scotty would back me up on this, and there's Scotty gone just when I need him most. Yeah, the soundtrack, the score. And
I do have stuff about the music, but
couldn't find his name anywhere in the credits. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, how can he have done that? And maybe I didn't see his name anywhere in the credits. And that's kind of
okay. In my
strange.
research, I did find that he did compose the film score. And I didn't know he was not in the credits. I didn't cross-check the credits or anything, but he definitely did the film score. But what happened was John Carpenter had to refill some of the scenes because, well, let's see. I have it in notes here. He did the score, but then he couldn't use all of it because he had to cut some of the music because there were some places where the tension of the music didn't fit the scene. And so he had to rework some of it, and the pieces that John Carpenter wrote for it were simple electronic pieces, and like tones that worked as background sounds to help with the tension.
There's a lot of ambient soundtrack behind this, as well as the music itself.
But if you want to hear all of the original soundtrack by Ennio, it's on the soundtrack for the movie, I think. That wasn't included.
But yeah, it's an amazing soundtrack.
Yes, very good. I think together it all came together really, really well.
So the Norwegians chasing Jed the wolf dog.
Jed is the actor's name. Jed has his own IMDb page.
Jed's amazing. Just amazing.
Jed the dog. And we haven't seen him yet. Let's find him. Because the helicopter.
Wolf dog.
And the camera was a little shaky at first, just filming the helicopter. And it seemed a little dangerous how he's hanging outside of the helicopter, but when you see what he's doing, he's intent on shooting at this dog, and it's a little off brand here, trying to shoot at a cute puppy with a sniper rifle. And Peepers, that's true for me, but I'm not reading that one. But yeah, there he is. There's Jed. Good dog. Very good dog. How did he not win an award? Did he not? Did he?
That's an amazing dog. He might have won an award. I'll have to look it up.
Jed, I'm going to look at his IMDb. Did Jed the dog?
I checked the IMDb. I can't find one for him. Maybe he's got a wiki page.
Oh, no. Okay. Oh, he's in White Fang, too? Wow.
He's got quite a... Yeah. Jed.
Actually, I'm surprised he wasn't in more things.
Oh, he had.
Should animals get Oscars?
Busy career.
Not?
But he's half wolf, which is amazing.
Wow. No way.
Yeah. And I was listening to the commentary, and Richard Masur, who played the dog handler, I should just have that character's name at my fingertips right now,
His
who
name
played
is Clark,
was saying that because he was half wolf, all of his movements were generally very wolfy instead of doggy. And he was such a good actor. Carpenter noted that he almost never, once he had kind of learned the cast and, learned, the people he was working with, he never related to the camera, the dolly movement, the crew, only to his action and the cast. So he was just an amazing actor.
Yes, and that explains some of his personality, because I wondered how this dog was able to behave so detachedly. I didn't know it was just expert filming, or what was going
Monsieur
on
was
here?
saying that the dog
Great.
handler told him that every now and then the dog will get this stare. And if the dog stares at you like that, you need to relax because, that's the wolf part coming out. And you
Oh.
don't want to challenge that. You just need
That's
to kind
scary.
of, it does sound scary.
It. The Hassan Piker Award for Best Screen Animal Performance.
That's a bad joke.
Uh,
You
Oh,
don't
the
want
joke?
to. You don't want to go down that hole.
Don't
I'll tell
open
you
that
about
can.
it, but you don't want to go down that hole.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
okay. I'm not gonna worry about it.
It's a
I
recent
read it because-
commentary on something that happened recently involving an animal and a shock collar.
Well, it's better than what happens to the dogs in this particular representation.
Oh,
of
there
dog
was some
treatment.
animal abuse then.
Yes,
Yeah,
Oh, that's
allegedly.
terrible.
Allegedly for lawyers.
I don't think
Well-
it's alleged. I think it's.
Well, if he hasn't been convicted yet, then it is alleged.
I'm
well,
just trying
I
to
don't know.
cover
I don't
bases.
know.
Unfortunately, depending on what country you live in, nobody cares.
What?
I'm sorry.
terrible.
That's welcome to the world.
Okay, I guess I'm sorry.
We'll talk about it on a
Nim,
shore
I didn't
leave
know.
sometime.
I I just read that without knowing what I was reading. Good job, Nim. You tricked me. So
So this was
Let's see.
shot
Wait a
in
sec.
2 different locations.
I was looking at the chat real quick.
Sure.
It's as bad as a Mr. Brown review. That is great praise. This is shot on 2 locations. Yeah, it was shot in Canada and in Alaska.
Yes. North of Juneau, and apparently, like in terms of the vistas that you get through these helicopter shots throughout the film, absolutely gorgeous scenery, difficult to get, just because of fog and whatnot, and
Right next to a glacier.
Mhm.
And apparently, not far from the set, there was a 500-foot drop. And because everything was white, you really had to watch your step.
Well, that was a thing that happened, wasn't it? Is it true that a bus almost slid off the road off of that 500-foot embankment?
Yikes. I didn't hear
That's what
anybody.
I found that. I didn't look
That's-
too much into it.
That's interesting. The thing that I heard was that there was an actual working mining camp not far, and the mining trucks would go up and down this one-lane road that was the way you got to the shooting site, 26 miles long, and there were little turnoffs. And if you were in a car going to the shooting site or coming back, and one of these trucks was coming against you, you turned off as fast as you could because they did not stop.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I didn't hear about anything about an actual truck going over. That's interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I would want to know from the people in that bus. Yeah, there's some things that may or may not. I would believe it based on what you just said. The 2 things do add up together.
Well, it's
Oh, wait,
from
here it is. Here it is. I found it.
There it is.
So who's talking? Fuchs. Joel
Fuchs.
Polis. Fuchs. The driver had momentarily lost control of the bus on the snow and ice, and the back of the bus slid to the left toward the mountain. He countered by turning to the right, and the bus slid again, this time towards the unprotected edge of the road and a precipitous 500-foot embankment. All right, there's your source from the actor.
That's a
from the
good
movie.
source. That's the actor.
Yes,
Mhm.
I was hoping there would be a good source. And Nordapupus says, "Can piano performer play as the time goes by for me?" Oh,
Play it, Sam.
oh,
Play
right, Casablanca. Oh, because Old Man Bird wants me to review some romantic movies. That could happen. That could happen one day.
I would love to review Casablanca, but
Yes,
Well, then we'll have to do that.
it's on the list.
it's on the list. And so the dog's being pursued by the Norwegians. And here he goes. He's going. This is how the movie opens.
And Carpenter and Russell mentioned that all of these helicopter pilots were local. They were local bush pilots, and they were really wild guys. They would really just kind of fly dangerously and, without too much regard or fear. And so there's a point where they're coming over the dog, and the dog really, Jed the wolf dog, just hunkers down, hits puts his belly on the snow. And then Carpenter says kind of laughingly, yeah, he was about 5 feet over Jed right there. And I'm like, oh my God, that sounds terrifying.
Yeah, when he was hovering right over the dog, that did look odd. Wow. Those are some expert flyers. And like you said, fearless. Old Man Bird, 1999 super sticker. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Old Man Bird, for supporting the conversation.
Old Man Bird.
Today.
Old Man Bird.
Yeah, with the Bushiba holding a trophy.
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Well, what can we play for that one?
And appropriate, because it's Bushiba, who's a dog.
Mm-hmm.
He accepted me for what I am. And that I have learned is friendship.
That's all the thing wanted.
No.
Yeah, he just wanted to hug you.
Oh, God.
He accepted me for what I was, and so I made him into me.
And actually, that kind of works. So anyway, we shrink from the world of Antarctica to this little camp here. And
Beautiful
so
set.
it is, ping pong. It's got everything you need to fight cabin fever here.
And a mix
pinball
between pinball machine, ping pong, chess master, probably a dartboard somewhere, although I didn't see it. But there are California sets, like California studios, for some of the interiors, but then also for the exteriors, it was filmed. I think that was the one that was filmed in British Columbia. And so if it was Alaska, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be nationalistic here.
No, I think it was BC.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. And so, but parts of it, like when we do the practical effects, we'll call this foreshadowing. The practical effects of the situation will come into play later on, which is amazing.
And no matter where they were, the ambient room temperature was around 31 degrees. So it was always cold.
Kept it cold.
They were cold.
Temperature controlled. Nice.
Well, and the funny thing is that they said, or Kurt Russell says, and it was the opposite as well. So when they were in California and going into the sort of studio sets, it would be 110 degrees outside, and then they would walk into what he described as like walking into a walk-in freezer. So
one of the producers.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You would have that shock of extreme to extreme.
One of the producers said that the whole cast and crew were sick that summer. Just they all had colds and flu because of the shock to the body when you go from hot to cold and cold to hot.
Oh, that's too bad. That's terrible that they had to suffer that much from just the temperature of the movie, but keeping them at that temperature kept them behaving as they would if they were really on. There was a lot of forced method acting in this movie, it seems.
Well, but that's also like there's an old joke on the late show with David Letterman, and he kept the studio at like 50 degrees because he found that was an optimum temperature to keep everybody sort of energized and working. And John Carpenter makes a mention of it in the audio commentary, Tiger, is that it's like, and everybody was always ready to work. Like the best part about it being so cold was that everybody was on their toes. Everyone was early. It was just like, let's get this going.
Although I heard
Wow.
Carpenter say too on the commentary that he often would get to the set and all the actors had their lines. They were up with their lines. They were ready to go. And he's the person who felt unprepared.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of funny because he had the whole thing scoped out. They had the what do you call it, where it's all drawn out as a comic.
Storyboarded.
Everything was storyboarded. So there's still things for the director to do, I'm sure, but I don't think you have to worry about it that much.
I think he was prepared. It's just the thing where you can always do more, and he was probably that kind of guy where he could always find something else he should have done.
Oh,
Well, there is just one, like, in terms of that, not that he was unprepared, but even Kurt Russell says, again, these are all Tiger Stripes and I watched the audio commentary, and so we're basically going to trade all the things that Kurt Russell and John Carpenter said, and we're going
darn right.
we're going to respond to them and pass them on to you. So this is actually spoilers for not a movie, but the audio commentary. And but one of the things that Kurt Russell says is that one of the hardest things to direct, shoot, try and block and everything is when you have, like, there are 12 characters in a room multiple times and it's a cramped space. And so how do you set that up? How do you make it dynamic instead of just being a static shot? It's kind of like 12 Angry Men kind of sitch. But it is when you're dealing with that high a cast. And John Carpenter even references from the original Thing from Another World. He's like, well, they had like 23 people on set at one time.
I think it was 34. There was a shot with all 34 people in the shot, which is
my mistake.
It was I was impressed because it was in the 30s. I'm like, wow. And I was also impressed that Carpenter knew that. And I'm impressed
Fan
that
of the original.
that you're touching
Yeah,
on
he
it.
was. Yeah, he was a fan of the first one, but he figured that was too many people to get to know them. And like Neminem says, I'm surprised that I still remember the names of the minor characters. Compare that to modern stuff where they don't seem to bother filling out the bit players. That does happen a lot of times. And
That's
it
a
is
great
good.
observation.
And this movie does give you all of the characters and some ideas about who they are, but they don't go that deep into who they are. And I think that plays into the feeling of wondering who they really are. The
Yes.
suspicions that you build towards people you don't really know. And
But
so
Well, and if you,
I like
it,
it's good balance.
go ahead, Tiger.
the whole movie, this particular movie, The Thing, seems like it was a very democratic process, which is kind of unusual. I think that goes to Carpenter because they did have table read and all of the actors brought their ideas about the characters and sort of formed their own relationships. I relate to this person. This is what I do. I relate to this person I don't trust, just from the outset. And then he had so much input also from all of the designers and the effects people. So it was really bigger than the sum of its parts.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Brogu.
Yes. Yeah, lots of people worked on
And
this
Gavin.
movie. It is incredible. Definitely.
Gavin in the chat says, anybody tried J&B whiskey? Is it good? You know what? I have never had it. I've always
That's why
been
I
curious
was
about it.
highlighting this because Kurt Russell is having a drink of J&B whiskey, and I was thinking, well, that's one thing you don't have to worry about running out of in Antarctica.
I can't offer an opinion. I'm not a whiskey person.
Yeah, I have not tried J&B myself. If anybody in the chat has and want to give us a brief review on it, I welcome it.
And here she is, everybody.
The only lady in the movie.
Only lady in the movie, played by Adrienne Barbeau, the chess wizard.
I saw it.
Back in 1982, and probably before that, Adrienne Barbeau was known as the lady with the boobs.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
she was the Sydney Sweeney of her day.
I often still refer to her to this day as Adrienne Barbells, which is really weird of me.
Yeah, but it's cute.
Did I say hello to Brogu and
Brogu?
To
Hey.
both of you.
When
Today you guys are talking about my favorite director and one of my favorite movies.
we're really making hash out of it, Brogu. So I hope you're in for the long haul. We're slicing it thin. I noticed when they describe McCready's character in the script, it's like 8 words, and it's bush pilot, likes chess, good pay,
That's
real
it,
tight.
yeah.
But the fact that he likes chess is really interesting because when you play chess, you've got to think a few moves ahead. And I feel like it might be why McCready comes to an acceptance of the situation so much faster than anyone else.
Well, but also, let's not forget how this chess game ends.
He loses, then he blows up the computer. Well,
Yeah.
with
That's
whiskey.
that's like one of the 3 comic relief moments in the entire film.
True. but it is great.
Yeah.
He likes it.
Well, it's some nice levity before the terror. And it does also show you a bit of his personality pretty quickly. He destroyed it because he didn't like the outcome. Although
Have you ever
there were
destroyed? Have you ever destroyed anything because you didn't like an outcome? Like I'm talking
Sure
about
I
something that
did,
was
but I
over
can't.
like $20, like something electronics, like a toy. Did you ever break a toy? You ever break a
I
controller?
I
I've
threw a
thrown
doll or something across the room as a small child
Mm.
and immediately felt so guilty that I haven't done it since.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I've thrown controllers when I was a kid playing Nintendo, but they never broke because Nintendo makes good stuff. I can't. I didn't. Yeah,
And
Well,
you
he
threw
maybe-
them
didn't
out
do
of
anything.
your frustration with the game and the
Yeah.
performance of the machine, or with your own performance?
Well, and
Probably my
also
own
maybe
performance. It's always my fault.
guys in the chat, have you ever, like, if you're golfers at all, have you ever gone and done a golf and then been like so disappointed with how many balls you lost that day that you just busted the club on the ground, beating it, just like that's it, I'm done. Like just any super frustration on something. I'm just confused as not confused. I'm taken aback by the fact that in Antarctica, you would be like, all right, I'm gonna break this toy. One of the few things.
Yeah, I know. I
And
think
so-
you need that toy.
Yeah.
My bro was saying just the other week that those old chess games, it turned out that if you played them enough to the point where that you began to win the game, the machine would start to cheat.
So
What?
that was something that somebody said, that this machine did do an impossible move to win. And I didn't back that up to see if that was true, but some people are saying that.
And that's
Brogu
why.
says he loses I forgot the part where he called the computer a bitch.
Yes.
It's very low. It's, not out there really loudly, as I recall.
I must have missed it. Canadian Spider-Man says, I bit my teeth into my iPad screen during a hockey game. Not good.
For the iPad or your teeth?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Both. Although your teeth are much more expensive.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
One expensive, frustrating sport is enough. I'm a bowler, says Peachy. Oh, so
Yeah,
hello
fair enough.
to
I
Peachy.
think bowling
But
sort of seems kind of low end in terms of cost, but what do I know? I'm not a bowler.
You know what? I've
Well,
never
that's true. You're not.
I don't
I'm
want to
not
get into
either.
bowling.
I don't know.
We'll talk about it all next week on our new podcast, Bowling for Dollars.
There goes Jed, the wolf dog. What a beauty.
Yes, and
Oh yeah.
and also Brogu says that the best actor in the movie is Jed.
True.
Hard to argue that.
John Carpenter
you know.
said that. To Kurt Russell.
Well, they were having a yak.
Of course.
He gets his own little shack here. He's leaving.
I guess that's probably a lookout for some reason. I don't know why you'd be I mean, maybe it's something has to be manned all the time, the lookout.
Is there anything coming off the top of that?
I just
shack?
thought he
Is
was
it like an
fancy.
antenna thing? He's the pilot. Or one of two pilots, I think.
An antenna? Mm.
I don't know.
Well, there's definitely antennas coming
Yes.
off of the
Yeah.
the
So
whole
it's like a
camp.
monitoring station. They never really say what they're doing here, but you figure it's, somewhat sciencey.
It's some kind of lookout because it's
Yeah,
elevated.
some kind of exploration of something. But they didn't. Yeah, you're right. They don't ever say. That was one of the things I mentioned in the intro. But I guess I would have liked to know, but it didn't
Well,
end up
I
mattering.
mean, I think at this point, even today, any kind of station in the Antarctic is definitely for research. It's not like they're mining or
No.
drilling for oil or anything. It's just pure research usually.
But I think it also adds to the realism and how serious the movie takes itself, which is a benefit in that there isn't a lot of unnecessary exposition. It's like, oh, hey, childs, you're the mechanic. It's good to have you around to be the mechanic. Well, thank you, Doc Copper. You're the best doctor in Antarctica. And so you never really get that awkward stuff. You're basically just learning off of these characters based on their personality, which is great credit to the casting. But then also, why would they sit around and be like, well, have you checked the biological digger? Because apparently there's a biologist, there's doctors. There's one doctor and one biologist, and so you figure that they're doing some sort of exploratory situation. I think it becomes self-explanatory in that a lot of these people wouldn't be talking about their work, they would just be doing it. And we start off the movie with something that is completely out of the ordinary. So the entire group is just focused on, why the hell was there a man trying to shoot a dog?
It is a great question. I know it impacted me really in a big way the first time I saw the film.
It's beautiful storytelling and beautiful setup to something that is going to get horrendously ugly. Jill, you could be muted.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, I was muted. My apologies.
Were
Somebody
you
asked if they
swearing at me?
mentioned.
Anyway.
No, I wasn't. Somebody asked if they mentioned that there were geologists. No, none in the script. I can't find geology in here.
There might be a geologist. I think the pothead guy was a geologist.
Well, I've got the story open, and the story kind of makes it clear. Dr. Copper, the physicist, moved over toward the little biologist. They're all different things. It's what you would expect.
Yeah, there's a Oh, that's it. It's a geophysicist. So that is sort of a geologist. Okay, there you go. there's what you're talking about. But yes, all different kinds of fields, but it doesn't tell you precisely what the mission is, but definitely some kind of exploration or something.
It builds paranoia, but also let's not get too attached to these people because they're all going to die.
We don't have to. That's the magic of the movies, that it just pares it down to what you need to know. And there's a grenade. The Norwegian has a grenade.
Nala.
He blows up the helicopter.
Yes, by accident.
Yeah, he wanted to blow up the dog.
Yes.
And so then he starts shooting at the dog, who starts running for sanctuary towards the others.
That's a great rifle.
It is. He also.
Why don't the Americans have that kind of a rifle? Norwegians have better guns? That doesn't play right.
Well, I'm sure they have different guns.
Okay.
I don't know. They're scientists. Then, so he speaks Norwegian, and I didn't know what he said, so I looked up what he said. And so, if you know Norwegian, you got the move. You knew what was the entire plot of the movie within the first 10 minutes, because he says.
So what does he say?
Get the hell away from that thing. That's not a dog. It's some sort of thing. It's imitating a dog. It isn't real. Get away, you idiot.
Wow, that's really what they're saying?
That's rad.
Yeah, that's really that's
rad. That's super rad.
Yeah, I mean, and the movie is called The Thing, so you know that there's going to be something.
So Terrier would have hated this movie the first time he saw it.
I don't know. I'd be interested to know what his experience with this movie is. I wanted to ask him, but I didn't get around to it.
Yeah. I'll text him. I'll see what he says.
So while the dog is being cute, the helicopter man is yelling at him, and he tries to kill the dog again, but shoots someone in the leg. Who does he shoot in the leg?
Bennings.
Bennings, that's right. Redhead. So someone's still inside. And they break some glass. That's Jerry. Jerry kills the Norwegian.
I thought his last name was Clark. Oh no, Gary. Yeah, Gary kills the Norwegian, shoots him in the eye.
That's right. Yeah, Clark is the dog handler.
Clark's the dog guy. So I assume that they have a dog sled.
Yeah, they must, because they have other dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was upsetting to me to see the dog licking Clark's face on greeting him. I had to wonder if there was some sort of transmission happening there at that moment in a rewatch.
Because Clark does comfort the dog, but I miss the notion that he's licking his face.
Oh, the dog stands
is
right
a-
up and licks his face.
Yikes. Well, so Bennings gets his wound treated from being shot, and they're talking about whether or not that guy was crazy. They just write him off as just some crazy guy shooting at a dog. Because what's more crazy than that? Shooting at an innocent-looking, cute, adorable dog. So then we meet Windows, the radio operator. So, but there's not much radio operating to do because he can't reach anybody ever.
Were there Windows when Windows was named Windows? I think that's just a
Were there
coincidence,
Windows?
right?
I think so. I think that wasn't the case. The only thing I remember is that Windows insisted on being called Windows on and off the set during the filming.
Oh, that's hardcore.
Yeah. So but you can't reach anybody. I know Windows existed. So
What?
Microsoft Windows.
Microsoft
Or
Windows, yes.
Yeah.
We were wondering. The history of Windows dates back to 1981, so it did exist.
Wow.
Okay, so there you go.
Maybe not a coincidence then.
But the first version, well, that's NT. So I don't know, but it probably wasn't that popular at that point. People were still playing their Commodores, right? Yeah. I need to get better at my computer history.
I don't recall seeing a computer until like 1985, 1986.
Because wasn't the chess wizard that we just saw that was an Apple II, wasn't it? Something like
No, I don't.
No, I don't think so. No, I just think it was a chess game. I could be
Yes.
wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it looked like it did have a way to save the game on some sort of tape, but
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I remember I could have taken computer classes back in the day. I didn't know how to type at the time, and you had to be able to type to take the computer class.
Yeah, so I learned how to type.
I
and
wish
then
I had been. I wish I
completely
had.
forgot.
Oh, no, typing's really. It was my bread and butter.
Wait,
so.
you don't know how to type, Scott?
No, I can't. I can type, but I have to, like, I'm not a look at the screen. I'm a look at my fingers.
No, you can't look at your fingers.
You shouldn't be
No, I
looking
know,
at
I'm
your
not
fingers.
practice.
There's little
I know.
notches on the J and F key, so you can
Mhm.
learn home row from
Yeah,
there.
once you
can't play the
have your
piano
pointer
either.
fingers down.
I know. I'm sorry. I suck at it.
Well, I mean, I worked hard to get good at it. I mean,
I didn't have to
I'm not
work-
great. I'm just
So what
competent.
happened was I was at school and they just blacked out all the whole keyboard, so I couldn't look down.
Wow, that's hardcore.
Yeah,
Wow.
but they use
Wow.
like black paint
That's
on
nuts.
They use paint on the
Oh, that's
type,
insane. That just
and
seems
so
punitive.
we figured out how to scratch out the proper corners to find. Anyway, we worked
Yeah,
harder at cheating than we did at learning.
Yeah, they had tape on ours. So anyway, Nal's I never thought of scratching the tape off.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, no, they weren't that cruel to me, but and I did learn on an electric machine, which is kinder on the fingers. But the typing teacher told us on the first day, "You're not going to make an A in this class. We grade very, very harshly and strictly." And I worked so hard, I made an A. So.
I was very
Nice.
nice to my typing teacher so that she would let me into the computer class.
That's how it goes. Those are the important skills you learn in college, kids.
Schmoozing.
Ah, really?
In
Not
college,
lying.
I learned typing in like 5th grade. But
Here's
of
Knowles.
course, that's computer advancement happened a little bit at that point.
See, Knowles, it's so funny the way Knowles
Yeah,
is
that's Knowles.
introduced.
He likes his roller skate.
He likes his roller skates, and he has good taste in music, and
He's
that's
a young
it.
guy.
And he's a
Right.
young guy. Like, I was expecting him to be like crazy
He's-
comic relief, and he does a
he's-
really good job because I've seen
Yeah,
him in other
he's
stuff.
super.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
he's the cook, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's the cook. He likes to keep his kitchen clean and free of bacteria
Aliens.
Yes.
and aliens.
Yes. Spiderhead.
Nala Doc. hello to Melodoc, who says, Scotty, always the glass half full guy.
No, that's
Wow.
because Scotty's glass is literally always half full. But
Thank you. I like to top up.
You need guns against aggressive penguins. Wait, what? It says PG.
I don't know. I guess.
Oh, you
Yeah,
know
it's
what?
true.
Penguins can chase you.
But is there anything in the Antarctic that could kill you? I don't know, big frickin'
thing.
sea lion, walrus maybe? If it was really hungry? I don't know.
Basically,
people
yeah, but yeah, or just
grenades.
the elements themselves.
But you can't shoot elements.
Yeah, okay. So, like a physical adversary.
Well,
All right.
If you get
Well,
trapped
yeah,
in a
that's
block
good.
of
It's a
ice.
good statement, Pete.
The dead Norwegian was called Mika Suf.
Mm.
Oh, Microsoft. See, that was a more innocent joke. That was better. I like that one. Wilford Brimley sadly couldn't fight back the thing with his diabetes.
Diabetes.
Oh,
Now, he was
I didn't
not
think about
famous for
that.
that at the moment. He was doing oatmeal commercials. What was he in this movie? 49. Wilford
in
Brimley was like
Cocoon.
he was like born 65.
Yes.
Oh.
Great
Oh, the
character
dead man.
actor.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Dead man.
Hey, dead
Thank
man.
you for the super sticker.
Ka-ching.
And it's of course of a poop. I know that.
It's a poop.
The kids love the poop emojis.
Absolutely.
At the grocery store, they try to pass them off as ice cream, and I'm like, that's not ice cream.
No.
Risk is our business.
Simple feeling.
And
That's trust.
Not
It's probably the
just
last
kind
of it you'll see today.
Oh, yes. So Niles is on his roller skate, and TK Carter. He's TK Carter. That's his name.
Great.
And there was another comedian who came in to read for the role called Franklin AJ. Instead of reading for the role, he was like, "This is a stereotype," and yeah, okay. And then obviously he didn't get the part. And if he actually cared about acting, he would have offered to help rewrite the lines to make them less stereotypical or something. But he it just seems like he wanted a grandstand to me. I don't really understand what was going on there.
Interesting because in the Carpenter-Russell commentary, Carpenter makes a sort of a flip comment that the actor here, he said he was always very concerned about whether or not we were being racist. And then Russell laughs heartily, and so that may have been a running joke, or it might be a commentary on good old Franklin there. Makes me wonder now.
Interesting. I don't know. But he considers that they may be at war with Norway as a reason why a man came to shoot a dog and throw grenades.
That is, you know what? That is one of the few. Like I understand Tiger Stripes, you said earlier, it's like one of the 3 moments of levity, beginning with the J&B into the computer. But "Are we at war with Norway?" is a pretty funny line.
That's a great line.
It is.
And
they're out. They're isolated. They don't know what's going on in the news in the world. So it's not that far off.
Is this Fuchs?
No, this is Palmer.
Okay, so Palmer.
This is the great David Clennon, an amazing actor. He's
Amazing
a Mad Man,
actor.
isn't he? You should know. You love your Mad
No,
Men.
but he's a guy. He's a guy who's like in everything. Isn't he the dad in The Last Starfighter?
I am not a Last Starfighter person, so
I
could
gotta
not
check.
say. But yeah, David Clennon's. Even if you don't recognize him, the second he turns his head to the side, he's got this distinctive nose.
Oh yeah, no, his
Fabulous
profile
actor. Yeah, I think he was kind of postulating that his character had come out of rehab recently, and so there you go.
I guess we know how he self-medicated.
Yes.
Well, but that's the thing, is that you don't know anything about this guy except for he's there, so he's obviously qualified for something. Not that.
And
last
he's
Starfighter.
brought his own stash.
And he's
That's
brought
not
his own
an easy thing to
stash.
do.
Well, how many cases of J&B are in this place?
And he shares it with his roommate, which is Childs.
Which shows a
So-
friendship.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
there's also a courtesy when you're smoking pot.
Oh no, it's not. It's not the
Yes,
dad
it's
that
true.
I'm thinking of. Sorry, I'm
true.
misremembering
Did you
my
bring
actors.
enough
Thank
for the
you for
rest of
wasting
the
your
cast?
time.
You don't want to Bogart that joint.
Yeah, it's very rude. There's certain anyway. Everybody standing around the corpse.
Yeah, Russell
Yeah, we
referred to this in the commentary. He said it's a 12-man acting competition.
Yes,
That's true.
but
Who's gonna steal the
and
scene?
isn't he like? Isn't? Oh no, hang on. I want
And
to see
that's
what's under the
Fuchs, by the
blanket
way.
before I comment.
He's in the purple sweater or whatever this is.
Oh, that's
Maroon.
Fuchs. Okay, yes.
Yeah, this is Fuchs. This is Childs. This is I forget.
Yeah, this was Joel Paulus's first movie role too.
I'll know it later.
And they say he was really into it, Fuchs.
And there's Gary.
He was excited to be there.
And Dr. Cooper's not in the frame yet.
Hanging with Dr.
And
Cooper.
so Dr. Cooper comes in saying the guy's as crazy as he could have done a lot of damage to their own before he got to us. So saying that basically the end of this scene is that they decide they're going to go to the Norwegian camp to figure out what's going on with these guys and how this guy got so crazy. And so that's their goal.
Gavin Blackburn says, Norway, the 52nd state.
Oh, I was trying to learn all of
That's so funny.
all of the characters, so I took really close-up shots to put them in my notes so I could remember.
Excellent.
So that's
Good
why
work, Jill.
Thanks. I actually didn't intend to keep them in my slides.
No, I love it though.
Yeah, that's part of the production process for the show.
And Richard Dysart. Sorry, I really like Richard Dysart just because of LA Law.
Cool. Well, yeah, if you know any if you know any actors, any references, I like those. And so they notice a lot of kerosene at the crash site. Of course, they investigate the crash site and the corpse and everything. And everything that survived the explosion. And Max told to get his gear on. He's got to fly.
How
They
did
also
kerosene
make sure-
survive the explosion? Exactly.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it?
Well, I
don't
guess
know.
you store kerosene in a particularly strong container, so maybe that's why. But
Yeah, extremely strong. Yeah, the container itself had to have kept the heat from reaching it somehow.
maybe.
But I think
And
one of the
Garrett-
most interesting parts of this scene is that McCready has the choice to say no. He could say, no, I don't want to go fly to this place, because they pretty much make it clear that he has a choice. But they ask him to, and he does.
Also, we should bring up the sombrero.
I was
Did we
about
talk
to.
about?
No,
Okay,
we haven't
you
talked
go.
about the hat yet. No, you go first.
Okay, so I love this hat. I think it's fantastic. I could never pull it off, and that is exactly what Kurt Russell said. And if I'm not mistaken, which I could be, I think Kurt Russell showed up at costuming the first day, and there was a giant sombrero, and then the costumer said, "Oh yeah, you got to wear that too." And he's like, "I'm not wearing that." And then John Carpenter comes in and says, "Do you like the hat? Isn't it awesome?" And so it was like, well, that's it. I got to wear the hat. So,
Yeah, they both goof on the hat back and
But it
forth all through
works.
the film. Well, but it also is kind of a ridiculous thing that commands attention. There's a point where there's three men standing on the edge of the glacier later on in the film, and Russell is actually wearing the hat, and they're all wearing goggles, and Kurt Russell says something like, "And here's the hat." Holding focus. There's only a hat in this photo and goggles.
Yeah.
And that's a and
But I
that
think
is if this movie has one poor point, I would have to say the costume design, and I don't know at what point they realized, and you can kind of see, these three men are different. The hats are different, which are really unique and helpful. But when you put all these guys in a group, they all look alike. And they could have done a little more, if only with color. But I can see how, they're kind of keeping it toned down and it's a
With
serious
color?
film.
You mean like South
Any
Park,
color.
where they each have
Any-
a uniform?
Yeah, they could just, be wearing a different color shirt, a different color jacket. They could do anything. But yeah, when you get these guys all in a bunch outside and even inside, it's telling them apart just immediately, it's tough. That's a good
I'm
one.
It
gonna-
is tough. It is tough, except for with Kurt Russell, because he spent all that time growing out his hair and his beard and the hat.
Well, but also, okay, but the thing, and I
Yosemite
know
Sam wants his hat back.
I want Yosemite Sam's hat.
Well, there it
helps.
is.
I think it helps later on in the movie when you're like, I can't tell these people apart, and there is that paranoia as you go through, and the thing could be anyone. I like the fact that they're all sort of looking alike, and I'm like, wait a second, who's that? Ooh, wait. And I lose track of people.
Well, they look
when I'm-
different enough visually and facially, and that kind of thing. But just
when they're
the
outside.
the costumes could be a little more singular.
Yeah, I think I know what
well.
Tiger's saying. Inside the
Alright.
base, the science base, were totally fine. But outside, when they're bundled up, they could have had something a little more defining.
No, could be the thing.
Oh, okay. Fuchs wants Knowles to turn down his music. The dog's laying around. And Rob Wright says, I think they wanted the men to look alike so you cannot distinguish between them and don't know who the thing is.
See?
This
Thank
is
you,
Scotty
Rob.
just said. Wow, backing you up.
Well, yes.
Yep.
Great minds.
No, I just think they did it in terms to keep the tone of the film dark. And I get it, you're not going to put somebody in a bright yellow or lime green shirt or anything like that, because that says something about the character.
Now I'm just imagining Kenny outside of the thing camp.
In his red puffer jacket.
Yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden the thing comes out and it's like, oh my God, you killed Kenny.
Best.
This is the most amazing piece of work.
Yes.
The
Best
dog coming
performance
around the
by a
corner.
dog.
Yeah, and coming and checking the door and then continuing down the hall. And like I mentioned when Scotty was out of the room earlier, Jed the wolf dog did not look at the dolly movement, the moving dolly, or the camera or the crew. So that was a really great actor.
He is probably of my top 2 dog actors of all time. My number 1, just because it was a television series and not a single film production, but it would be London from The Littlest Hobo. That is my favorite dog actor.
I
of
don't
all
know
time.
that at all.
Just look up The Littlest Hobo.
Oh my God.
I can
Canadian
understand
Spider-Man.
that. I love
Canadian
Lassie.
Spider-Man knows what I'm talking about.
That's got to be a
Yeah.
Canadian show then.
It is a Canadian show.
Lassie. And I loved Lassie
is
when I was
Canadian
little.
Lassie. Yes.
So I can understand.
And Franco Walker said, what do you want, Tiger? The Village People? No, I mentioned that. We're not looking for lime green or even maybe red, but I don't know. It's just the monotoneness of it, as somebody who had a little training in costume design.
Oh, I think you're being a little harsh.
It's like I said, it's the only point that I kind of have a bit of a gripe with. And they mention, again in the commentary, you can't, you get these guys together, you can't tell them apart outside, when they're bundled up for the cold.
Well, and I'm not gonna spoil anything from the ending, but and
I think we're all in on spoilers, aren't we, Jill? Come on, I mean,
Yeah. If there's something
if
that
it's
you
relevant,
really need to say,
yeah.
then it's
it's
okay.
it's just a debate that is going to be more interesting if we have it at the end.
Yeah, okay. I appreciate that, Scotty.
If
Hopefully
you can
we
remember
to
it,
have-
you see,
Yeah,
if it was
exactly.
me, I would just talk about it right now. I'm not going to rely on my memory.
I don't have to. There are slides. I
All
will
right,
be
There
then.
are
reminded.
slides.
Okay.
Okay. As long as we keep moving. But you did
That's
mention your
faith.
favorite dog. So Soccer
Faith
the
and
dog is
trust.
the one I like. Soccer the dog from Wishbone PBS show about
Ooh,
a dog exploring and
I like
showing
Jack
us
Russell.
literature.
Yeah, no, the one in
You know,
Frasier, that little dog.
Oh, Moose
Yeah, great little
as
dog.
Eddie.
Tremendous little dog.
mhm.
I love that I
Yeah.
know the dog's actor names.
That is cool.
It is, and I'm tooting my own horn. Let's move. Let's move on.
Yes,
Indeed.
let's move on to the destroyed Norwegian camp. It is
And as
Which
I
Moldenir.
is
understand it,
you go.
yes, Scotty. No, this is
No,
the
it's your turn.
actual. This is the actual set after they blew it up. So they had to go back and then film these scenes, which is
Yeah,
interesting.
it took them 8 hours to rig up the whole set to blow it up. And yes, that's right. This is the same science base because why build another science base when you have one already? So that was
That
a
you're going to
good
blow up anyway.
money saving gesture, and it's foreshadowing. This whole thing is foreshadowing the demise of
And in
that
terms
happens.
Yeah, and in terms of filmmaking, it's absolutely wonderful because it's like, how can you justify building a set that you're going to eventually blow up unless you tell the producers, the people who are, or not the producers, but the financiers. And it's like, so why would you build this? And it's like, well, we're going to blow it up. And so we're going to build something that you want to blow up. Oh, no, we're going to film in it after we've blown it up. And they're like, oh, okay, sure. Yep. So we're going to clean it all up afterwards. Let's blow it up. Yep. Great. Done.
And since you bring this up, I thought it was interesting in commentary that Carpenter said more than once that this was his first studio film. And I
Yes.
found that really odd because I think of his previous films as pretty big box office. And I guess the difference between that is that you have one studio funding everything and they just give you all the money you want when you ask for it. And you don't have to do that much justification as opposed to an indie film where you have more than one person financing the film and you've really kind of got to toe the line. I don't know, but it was.
I think it's a long conversation in terms of studio versus independent film economics, and it's interesting to me. But I just don't want I think it'll derail a lot.
I was just shocked that he said it was his first studio film.
Yes,
That was a surprise.
and
That was
That
the
is
surprise to
interesting.
me.
so he had done Halloween, and then he did Elvis, and then he did The Fog, and then he did Escape from New York, and then he did
And that
this.
wasn't studio. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think of The Escape from New York was the last film he did before this one.
yes,
And I think of that as a studio movie, but I guess
Thought
not.
so
I
too.
guess I just found that comment fascinating. Okay.
it is.
It is
Yeah,
fascinating.
I don't want to
Another
derail.
I want to. No, you're not. Well, he directed the movie, so it's a more of a tangent than derailing. Rob Wright's Gen X Pop Culture has a good question. Doesn't this scene reference the original film, The Thing from Another World? Do you either of you know that
It
Yeah,
was
yes.
intentional, yeah.
Because of the ice block.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah,
Great.
specifically.
So then it did. Also, McCready keeps calling them Swedish instead of Norwegian.
That's a hoot. I love that.
They're all white guys to Americans.
My
No, I,
goodness.
I've known people I knew one guy in particular who had a slur for everybody, and he had a slur for people from the icy countries.
Oh, I didn't pause it on the axe, but there's an axe stuck in the wall, and
Oh, yeah.
that's a foreshadow.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
A bloody axe, a very bloody axe.
Here's
They find
Johnny.
a corpse.
Oh,
Not gonna pause on that one. And
oh,
Yeah,
I think you can. That was fairly.
no, well, it could be triggering.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Before
I think
for
Eric's
the
is
algorithm.
Excuse me for a moment. I'm
Sure,
disturbed.
sure.
I have to go and lose my lunch based on that awful, awful imagery.
Okay,
I
so
think-
Rob Wright was Gen X. I guess it was worse on. I guess it was worse when we saw that movie. It was worse in the one with the missing eyeballs.
I like the lab set up there with the beakers.
PG says, old Swedish joke. How do you know if a Norwegian likes you? He stares at your shoes instead of his own. I don't understand. Anyway, they explore the laboratory, and Copper finds some papers and a video unit, and so of course this is all the stuff that they want to take with them, and he decides they're important. And then of course they find the ice block, as you mentioned, which is apparently a reference to the first movie. Must be in the story if they're in both. And of course it looks like a giant ice bathtub, and of course that's because something was inside that is no longer inside. It's a mystery. And then they find more containers of kerosene they find a warped corpse. And so they take all the stuff back with them, back to the original base, the US base. And especially the gruesome remains is the creepiest thing they bring back. And oh, there's Jed again, just watching. Nothing to see here. Just a dog looking out the window. He doesn't even look out of the window like a dog.
His stare is just amazing.
It is. And then we have to do some autopsies. Gorilla's Random Thoughts is here. Kapla. Won't be long. I have a meeting with HR. I get to explain a new term to her. Oh, okay. Well, I hope you are very helpful to her. I'm not going to ask. PG says it's because of Norwegian social awkwardness. Oh, well, that's just me. Rob Wright says, okay, folks, gotta run. My lunch break is over. Have a great day.
Rob Wright.
You have a great day too. Thanks for spending your lunch break with us. You could do anything you want during your lunch, and it makes me very happy you choose to be here. Why am I on this scene? Oh my god. Let's not pause right there. It's stinky. It's a very stinky corpse. Let's get through it.
What's the pause that I missed? I missed a pause. Let me see the pause.
It's just that.
Oh my
you didn't
God.
miss anything. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good
wasn't
one. Oh, kids.
2 heads. That's too many heads. Too many fingers. Too many things happening.
Yeah, that's the incredible work of Rob Bottin. My entire life, I have been calling him Rob Bottin. So apologies, Rob. Bottin.
I would have called him Bottin too.
If I hadn't heard them saying it over and over this morning, I wouldn't have gotten it right. So now I know.
Fantastic. So, okay, so then.
And the actor Richard Masur was quoted as saying they would go in and out of the effects department, before the filming started, and at some point that sculpture popped up, and he said it's really warped but very beautiful. I'm like, I don't think I would define it as beautiful, but
no, but they worked very hard on it. It is supposed to be disgusting. It's supposed to freak you out. It's supposed to be scary.
Yeah,
it's supposed to indicate something otherworldly, and
it does all of that. The whole is it mitosis? When cells split into two?
Yes. Undefinable. Well, and cells splitting into other beings, other organisms. Cells being organisms. That's the coolest thing, I think. Let me see what the poll's at, because that's one of the things. Every molecule is a living being is still winning over visually perfect bioreplication. 39%. Those two things go hand in hand.
They do.
So I like that they're fighting together.
I voted for the second one. Ms. Sparkles.
Yeah, Ms. Sparkles is a member. Thank you for renewing your membership, Ms. Sparkles. Gorilla says, I told coworkers. Oh. Okay. And so you've got to explain that to HR. I got you. Well, but
Okay, I'm missing
guess-
all the good things. What did he?
yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
he's talking. He actually answered why he has to go to HR.
Yes. Oh,
I
honey.
guess I can understand that. Well, biology class might not be the time to, work might not be the time to talk about biology, unless you're a biologist.
I'm
Wait.
glad I missed this.
I'm sorry that he has to go to HR for that reason, but
I am
Yeah.
HR.
it's
I'm
just
your
a
lawyer.
joke. It's just a
Yeah,
joke.
it was just a joke. It seems like somebody overreacted. I think, Tiger.
Yeah.
That looked
Well,
like an
particularly
early
if
AI
they made
image.
if they made a comment, it's like,
Fox Hills.
what business is it of theirs?
I'm so glad you said that, Fox Hills, because I was thinking that this whole movie about how AI gives me nightmares. And this movie, you used to have to work really hard with practical effects and special effects to give people nightmares. And this is that looks like an early AI image. That's amazing that you said that, because that was not far off from my mind.
Gary looks like he's wearing a Fallout vault suit.
He is, but he also it caused Windows some eye irritation because he rudely blasts sound into his ears just to see if he's reached anybody yet, and he has not. Obviously. Oh, Old Man Bird for $9.99, $9.99 super
Old
chat.
Man
Thank
Bird.
you.
Oh, maybe.
How
How
much would they
much?
have to pay you to
Wait,
live
can
in
you hear me?
Antarctica for a year?
Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I was reading that and then Tiger Stripe.
I couldn't resist it. I'm sorry.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's all it was. I just thought maybe you guys couldn't hear me. How much would they have to pay you to live in Antarctica for a year? So I don't know if it was I would say if it was a base like this, they seem to have all the games. They have pinball, they have ping pong, they have a pool table, they have all the all the stuff you need to. They have whiskey, they have other stuff.
Cigarettes.
And cigarettes, yeah, right, cigarettes. And
Of both
I
kinds.
imagine they also have some stuff to watch. Yeah, right. They were watching video cassette tapes of
Mhm.
game
Game
shows
show.
later on in the movie. Yeah. If somebody wants to pay me to be in
I think it was
Antarctica
let's
with
make
all
a
that
deal.
stuff, yes, that's right. Yeah,
So,
I think I could, but how
much?
I'm too old
Uh,
to go live anywhere for
My
a
only
year.
problem, a year would be tough. I cannot abandon my kids.
Okay, no. I
so
don't think
can't
this
do
has
it for
anything
one.
to do with your familial ties. This has okay. So you are an individual. I know it's incorporated into her being and her katra, but I'm just like, if you consider yourself at any time during your life when you were physically able to do so, how much would it cost for you to live in Antarctica, completely remote, and you're going to be with the same 12 people all year? How much would it? And yes, there are all the accoutrements. Let's not forget you have a job to do.
And
They're
you're not
paying
going
you
to
do
die.
something.
I mean, this is a place where
No guarantees,
if
lady.
if you step outside the door for 5 minutes, you could be dead.
So no guarantees. You could die, but then again, you could die wherever you live now.
True that.
I think at least $250,000 at the very least. But
$250,000 is your pay. You know what? I would, yeah. And if we're saying today, or are we saying this in 1982?
I
well,
don't
that's
know.
no.
The
Today.
inflation
We're saying today.
calculation.
We'll say today.
Yeah.
We'll say
Well,
today.
it's Old
I
Man
would do
Bird's
it.
question, but
Yeah. I would do 250,000. I would do that.
no,
And
it'd
simply
have to be $1 million for me.
Okay. That's cool. That's
You know
cool.
what? Yeah, okay. I think it'd be a good idea to start at $1 million, and if you have to negotiate to 500, that'd be fine.
And and if taxes are taking away half of that, which is possible, then it'd have to be $2 million.
Okay. So
I need $1 million clear.
All right. I'm in. I like this. I like that we're in collective bargaining.
Yeah, I know. I like Tiger Stripe's answer better than mine.
Tiger, you should be an advocate for me moving to Antarctica. But here's the thing. Here's the gift that you will get by living 1 year in Antarctica, because no matter where else in the world you
You'll
live,
lose a toe.
the world is, or the weather is going to be better.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thank
yeah.
you so much for that, Old Man Bird. That was a good
Old
Yes.
Man Bird.
question. Yeah, Miss Sparkles, so great you're here.
Miss
And
Sparkles.
we're going to continue the review. And so, of course, Windows has not found anybody else. He's not reached anybody. And so then we cut back to Blair doing his autopsy on the Norwegian. And he doesn't.
I'm Wilford Brimley.
Oh, he's
He
just
doesn't-
the best. And
I want to go swimming.
the commentary note that Brimley is kind of an old school guy, and he's almost certainly shot and gutted a deer before, so he's real methodical about it, not squeamish, just gets in there.
He does seem natural. He does have a natural sense about him cutting into these things, and he cuts into the human and doesn't find anything wrong with him. Then he cuts into this one, and he says that it has normal internal organs. And that's his claim anyway. and that's a bit undercut by the two heads, but I guess maybe two people were fused, or I don't know what happened there.
Well, but that's also
No, that's the
something-
division.
But it's also a question
okay.
as to how, obviously it started off on a on a spaceship. I don't know if they were the ones piloting the spaceship. Maybe it's just some sort of weird back. I don't know anything about the thing. And so has it gone to other planets? Was it cargo, sort of like the xenomorph on some alien's ship, like the space jockeys? Like what is the thing? No one knows. And so has
Mm.
it continually been assimilating other species? Like, why did that ship crash in the first place? Is it because the thing got on the ship?
Well,
This was going to be one of my points of conversation when we got to the ship itself. Oh, we already passed that.
Yeah,
Well,
we're done
no,
with
we
the ship.
didn't. No, they
No,
didn't.
like how
No,
there's
they
a
didn't.
ship in the
spaceship.
No, we
ice.
haven't. There's
I
there's a big crater we have not gotten to yet,
Yeah.
and I wanted but
Jill,
we
look
can
at the
talk about it
screen.
now.
That's
Look at
the
the
one where
screen.
the hat goes to the crater.
See
But yeah,
do you see over Monty Hall here? It looks like a spaceship.
oh, that's cool. Really good eye.
That's
Good eye,
yeah.
Scotty.
I wouldn't
That's
have.
that's a
I
hoot.
wouldn't have thought of that.
Dead on. Good one.
But I love what you're saying about this because I had it later on in my notes, but we can talk about it now. I'll just have to remember what I said in terms of this. What made me think of what you're talking about is when they explore the ship in the crater, and I wanted them to actually explore the ship to figure out exactly what you're asking. Is this the thing ship, or did he invade the ship, or what's going on with the thing itself? Does it go from planet to planet doing this and invading everybody and assimilating one at a time, or was it just cargo? I love that question. It would be really great to know the answer to that.
Well, Carpenter and Russell are both kind of an accord. They do believe that the thing has gone to many planets and assimilated many species.
I can believe that.
And that it's able to draw on many different species in order to meet the needs of the moment, which is pretty effing disturbing to think of.
Does that mean it can change its biological needs?
That's what they sort of said. They said that outright in the commentary.
So it never needs a spacesuit.
Well, it has to come into contact with a species that would be able to exist within a vacuum or in high radiation areas or whatever your sort of environment needs to adapt to. Because if the thing adapts to you, it absorbs what you have. Assimilation, resistance is futile.
It has to assimilate somebody first, before, and then it doesn't need a spacesuit. That makes sense. So it's just that lore in and of itself, the mystery of it is super fun. That's
But
one of the biggest things about this movie that I like.
Yeah, that's why I kind of would prefer that this movie didn't start with the spaceship. Because that just sort of makes that really clear rather than revealing it later on in the film like they do in the original Howard Hawks. And I greatly prefer that.
Yeah. It's better to reveal it right when we're talking about let's make a deal.
But for whatever reason, my impression with the initial footage right at the beginning of the film and the spaceship is that I don't know that is the Thing's spaceship. I just, my vibe, I just get this, why did it crash? Why would it crash? If you know how to fly a spaceship, you know how to fly a spaceship. Maybe it was fleeing in some other being's vehicle. Maybe
that's a possibility.
Maybe that was a stolen car. I do get a vibe.
Yeah, they could very well be like they could be all over the galaxy in different spaceships just based on whomever they find to invade.
The mystery.
This is another fun room here. Another rec room with poker and pool table, and a bar, and
no jukebox.
Magazines.
4 out of 10.
But wait, what is this though? What is this exactly?
That's a jukebox.
This is a jukebox?
That's a jukebox.
Oh, son of a bitch. They never use it.
No, they should. If you show a jukebox, you should be using the jukebox.
There are a couple of needle drops in the movie, though.
There are a couple of songs, and I rewatched it this morning with commentary, so I didn't hear the soundtrack. So.
Oh, and have we mentioned who plays Childs? Who plays Childs in this movie?
Keith David.
Keith David. Not David Keith,
good.
but Keith David.
Keith David.
That's a hard one to keep straight. Wonderful actor. Does a lot of voice work these days.
This was his first significant film, right?
I think he recently got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm looking it up even as we speak. That's a really good question, Jill. Because if that's true, what a beginning that would be. Man, he's got so many credits. I can't get to the bottom. Okay.
He was on Community, for the love of Pete.
It does look like he had a couple of roles before that were very small roles. Very, supporting, not even supporting, like chorus roles, like background roles. So, this is his first film. Incredible. Him and Fuchs, it was their first film. That's amazing. My God, that guy has so much presence, and this is his first movie. That's insane.
It is. So, but also, we're coming up on a really big scene here where Bennings is getting frustrated with the dog and tells Clark to put him away with the other dogs. And so Clark does this, and that's when we know that they have all these other dogs. But the dogs right away know there's something wrong with this dog, and they start growling at him. And
although in their defense, this being starts to go to town right away.
Yes, there's not much preamble here.
He doesn't even wait for Clark to leave.
Yeah, that's why Clark comes back so soon.
A miscalculation.
Agreed. He probably should have waited a bit so that it would have taken longer for them to do this. And yes, of course, he splits into a gross-looking flower and more other things. And his disguise of a cute dog melts away, and he becomes the Thing version of the dog.
So if you ever have anybody who
everywhere.
would, if you'd like to, if you're sitting there and you're watching a movie called The Thing, or any movie for that matter, John Wick, say, or Old Yeller, and someone says, does the dog make it? This is one of those movies that you're allowed to spoil. You're allowed to say, if you don't like horrific things done to animals, don't watch this film.
Don't watch this movie, yeah.
So
Because all the dogs don't make it. Like, even this is one of the smart ones here, trying to bite through the fence and actually succeeding.
mhm,
And
They had the
almost
ASPCA on the set, but somebody once said that the thing with animal actors is they don't know they're acting. I gotta worry about that poor dog being traumatized. Like, get me the F out of here.
yeah, I hope he wasn't too traumatized.
Oh,
Because a lot of the special effects were done post, right? Oh no, but except for this one, because this one was made by Stan Winston, and he did a puppet, so that these dogs
yes.
could be scared.
Well, and sometimes we chuckle at the fate of child actors, but oh my stars, if a dog gets shocked, the whole world goes insane.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
look at this thing. I wouldn't want to be in a room with it. And
No.
like I said, the thing with animal actors is they don't know they're acting. But yeah,
Well, pull up the pants and deal, because this is a horror
Carpenter
movie.
said the stuff that this thing shoots out, and he named it more than once, and I've already forgotten, and I can't. But he
The only
said
thing
it is an element. It's the component that keeps the goo inside of Twinkies holding together,
Yes.
and I was much impressed by that.
Well,
Oh,
but it also
all
it
sorts
it
of things. They used microwave bubblegum, creamed corn, mayonnaise, and most interestingly, KY jelly for some of these effects.
Oh, tons and tons and tons of KY jelly, but that's just to put a sheen on things, I think, to make them gooey.
Yes.
yes,
Apparently you can get it by the
agreed.
barrel.
Oh yeah, there was a
ask
guy, and
Kitty.
there was one of the crew in the effects was mentioning how one of the first things he noticed when he was on set were that there were gallon containers of KY jelly, and he said, "I didn't know you could get KY jelly by the gallon," and then he blushed a little, which was very charming.
Yes.
Uh,
But it kind of reminds me, as you mentioned, the goo that is being sprayed all over the place is the cohesive gelatin, I suppose, to ensure coherence of Twinkie cream filling. It reminds me of the same way that they use the thickeners in milkshakes, McDonald's milkshakes, to have the aliens drool be so viscous. And so
Mm.
I do. It is interesting that the best goo that you can get is something that people typically ingest.
Yeah, thickeners. But there's
yes,
often
and
things in food that I just think, isn't that antifreeze? When I'm reading the ingredients, I'm like, isn't that antifreeze?
and of course, oh, I say botan. How am I supposed to be saying it? I forget already.
Botine.
Botine, of course, did the special effects, but they called on Stan Winston for this one. And Stan Winston refused credit, so he was given a thank you in the credits.
Super
instead.
kind of him. What a guy.
Yes.
Well, this
didn't-
is like when he's still up and coming, isn't it? Like 80.
No,
82?
I think Stan Winston was a thing by then. It was Botine who was the up and comer, and I just think that Winston didn't want to throw shade on him. I think he felt that, well, if I'm credited, then everybody's going to assume that all of these are my effects, and I want credit where it's due. Very
And I'm just curious about Stan Winston.
upscale.
Agreed. I like that. And well, oh right. One of the things why he's on the ground is the smart dog who was biting through the fence dashes off. And then of course that same dog was squirted in the face by the thing, so I don't know what's going on.
Stan Winston was a part of The Wiz.
And what?
The
Okay,
Wiz.
that's awesome.
The
The
Michael
Wiz.
Jackson,
Yeah.
Diana Ross, Wizard of Oz.
Right, the Wizard of Oz. Yeah. Yeah. I do know what
He
the
was in
Wiz is. I just haven't
Roots?
seen it.
Oh, wow. He did so
Okay.
much stuff. Makeup department. Incredible.
course, he's done
Zoltan,
a ton of
Hound
stuff.
of Dracula. I want to see Zoltan, Hound of Dracula now. Anyway, Stan Winston, everybody. Thanks for showing up.
Yes, and Clark sees the tentacles and the horror, and so he tries to close the dog pen back up. He closes the dog pen back up, and McCready is just grabbing a beer when he hears the screaming, and he pulls the fire alarm,
And
or
he
the
doesn't F
screeching
around.
thing.
I love
Yeah,
that.
he's
Straight to the fire
he-
alarm.
Exactly. He takes action. He's a action-oriented kind of guy. And Clark says, "I don't know what the hell's in there. It's weird and pissed off, whatever it is." And Benny goes to ask Childs for a flamethrower that Mac has
Ask.
called for. So Mac is already leading, is ready being a leader at this point. And one thing I forgot to mention about Keith David, who plays Childs, is that his hand was broken in a car accident, and so they put a glove on him and then painted it to resemble his complexion.
Mm-hmm. And you can really see it.
I never noticed it before they pointed it out in the commentary.
Yeah. Okay. You can really see it when you know when it shows up.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they mentioned it in the commentary, I'm like, oh, right. Oh, God.
But I never copped to it before. Oh, my God.
So more of this. The thing shrieks.
Mongolian grill.
Well,
don't you ruin Mongolian grill for me. Stop it. Stop it.
Sorry. Not.
Oh.
Sorry.
I can understand that though, but no. one of the mutilated dogs is still alive. It's terrible seeing all these. Yeah. If you don't like the dog dying in the movie, this one is not the movie for you.
Yeah. No, it doesn't just die. It's eviscerated, I think would be the right word.
And then
it
that
is grim how
leads
it has to turn things inside out in order to duplicate them.
Oh my, and exploded.
And it exploded. That leads McCready to finally shoot at it but it also shoots at the victim too. So it shoots both. And then Clark gets angry at this, that he shot at the dog. So they start fighting. I don't know why.
Well, because he's protective. He's the dog minder.
Yeah,
and he's like,
I know, but do you not see what's happening to the dog?
He's a little more than that, too. That guy is on the spectrum. And
yes.
Masseur mentioned as much, too. He said, when he was talking to Carpenter about which role he was interested in, he said Clark. And he's like, Clark? I guess he thought he would want a bigger role. And he's like, I like the fact that he's not that good with people, but he's good with animals. He doesn't really relate to people. And then that puts the question in everybody's mind about he's the first suspect, really.
I like Clark, but yeah, that does bring him suspect because if the dog was a thing and the dog handler is a major suspect, being the one who interacts with them and cares for them the most.
But there's also something off about the character. He doesn't really meet people's eyes. You can tell. He doesn't relate well to people.
I get to know you. I can do that. I do that too. Like strangers might think I'm weird because I don't always look at them, because if I'm not interacting with you, I'm probably not going to look at you. And some people might be turned off by that about me.
I've had people make that comment about me too. But so game recognizes game.
And so they eventually douse it with the fire extinguisher, believing that they've killed it. But we have too much left in the movie for that. And so it complies with their hopes for now, though, and is not moving here.
Well, and it's interesting what you said earlier, Tiger, in that the thing had licked the face of Clark, and also Blair has thrust his fists into the thing, so that sort of what do you call it, osmosis may be taking effect, and so you don't know, maybe Clark is on side with the dogs and everything like that because he's being absorbed by the thing.
Well, yeah, that's the question. But then it turns out that he's not.
Yeah,
which is
we
sort
get that
of a
answer.
Surprise later on. Yeah.
Do they actually do the blood test with Clark?
Oh yes. Yeah.
Okay.
After he's dead.
Right.
They
no,
do.
I remember now.
No, but they do it. They do it anyway.
Yes,
but they do because they're the control subjects, because they're scientists and they know how science works, and so they're already dead. We know what both of them are. We know one's human. We know one's monster. Let's see how the test works with that.
But yeah, Clark is definitely suspect number one, I feel like.
So,
So-
even this old hand is disgusted.
It's
Adds to the
hard.
atmosphere. So I'm just checking the chat here. I don't want to leave you guys out. I know you guys make some really great chat. Maybe a culture sent him out to collect other biological samples to bring them back.
That's a very kind way of looking at it. No, I think this is conquest. World conquest.
Intergalactic viral
Yeah.
conquest.
Yeah, I mean the
Or
samples
at least
thing,
interplanetary.
Yeah.
that's the keeper from Lost in Space. That this is the way to yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting idea though.
I just.
Or no, wait a minute. I think Gavin's right. There could have been a culture that was collecting biological samples, but unfortunately, one of those samples that they collected turned out to be the thing.
It was the xenomorph.
And I'm just checking the chat here, just chuckling a bit at you guys. And Spidey's cooking breakfast, and he's at his he's always having a good time over there. Mongolian grill restaurant in Whistler Ski Resort was good. Used to be. Stop everything. No one wondered why there's a flamethrower in a scientific base in Antarctica. That small detail missed you all, didn't it?
Well, Greek letters, you know what? If there is a flamethrower anywhere, like I would say that it's probably a good idea in a place that is incredibly inhospitable to creating fire. So
Yeah,
That would be my
Walker-
Franco nailed it.
Yeah, to melt thick ice. Yeah, there you go. Proper research demands a flamethrower. I like Spidey's answer.
it reminds me of the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood scene with Rick Dalton, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and this is sort of an outtake where it's like, this flamethrower is really hot. Is there anything you can do about the heat? And that is Leonardo DiCaprio not in character, himself saying it to the stunt coordinator, and the stunt coordinator says, it's a flamethrower.
Well, they should have given him some asbestos gloves or something, I guess. But
well, I mean,
no, but it's hilarious. They kept it in.
Yeah, nice. But how else are you going to take down Rippy? Wow, all the colors on that was incredible. I know we're not lingering on those shots, but
no, I'm glad you're showing them. They're important, and it's really good effects work. Practical effects.
No, I'm not going back one. You can talk about it.
No, I was talking about the guys in the shirts. Like they're all very, very distinct in terms of their height.
Yeah,
body,
let's go back
shape.
and have a look at that.
Like their shirt. Like again, you've
okay,
got,
yeah, good call. It's only when they're dressed for bear to go outside that you can't tell them apart.
Well, in the most inhospitable environment, and when people do get separated is when they go outside of the rooms, because they typically spend a lot of time together.
But
And
the
that's
green braces,
when it's like,
the green braces are nice. They match his pencil.
If I were heavier, and I love, you know what, on the end of that pencil, I remember those little like plug-on rubbers.
Well, this is a drawing pencil, which is interesting. I know that there's particular kinds of work you do with a grid, and you need a real pencil, a proper pencil, not just a number 2 yellow pencil. But that's a proper pencil. I'm just saying, I noticed it in an earlier scene.
Very good.
Yeah,
because he uses that as a pointer when he's discussing his own work. Blair says what we're talking about here is an organism that imitates other life forms, and it imitates them perfectly. When this thing attacked our dogs, it tried to digest them, absorb them, and in the process, shape its own cells to imitate them. And so he takes a blood sample from the surviving dog, and he considers that Clark spent an hour and a half alone with it before putting it in the kennel, leaving the audience and the people in the camp to suspect Clark. And so that's how the movie brings in the audience into the paranoia.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
yeah, Russell and Carpenter, and Russell particularly, said that the cast had just so many discussions on if once you were assimilated, would you know that you had been, or would you just think you were yourself? And I don't have any question about that at all. I feel like yes, you would know. The thing is the thing. It looks like you, it thinks like you, but it knows it's not you. That's my
I
gut.
wholeheartedly disagree.
Apparently, they really tore it up. They had lots and lots of discussions about it.
My idea is, and they do bring up in the commentary, that this was sort of the burgeoning era of AIDS, and how this was something that nobody knew how they were getting to it, that no one knew how they would get it, and it was a huge issue at the time. And so with the blood tests, and this sort of just coincided. It wasn't by design.
No, it wasn't done as political commentary, but turned
No.
out to be really timely.
And so with that, I do like with the people who are subjugated, who are absorbed by the thing. I think that until their existence is threatened, they are oblivious. And then when they are attacked or attempted to be killed, or if, like, I don't even know how the thing would die naturally. Does the thing die naturally? I don't know. And so with that, when they are attacked and then they blow up into their giant Kaneda monsters from Akira, it's like, oh my God, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if the people who are absorbed by the thing know that they are the thing until the thing has to exert its thingness.
No, at a certain point, as Pete G says, the real you is dead once you are replicated, but that takes time. So while you're changing, do you know you've changed? And if you do, wouldn't you do something about it? Or like if later on in the movie, if you know that what you're going to turn into, wouldn't you do something about it to save everybody
Well,
else?
I don't think you can do anything about it once you've been infected by the thing. You got to go
You
and
could
propagate the
you could.
thing.
Well,
No,
there was
I'm not talking about
dynamite.
being infected and then maybe, and then for one thing, I think the act of replication is really hands-on. It's clearly not enough at a distance. It's got to be hands-on.
You got to lick it.
Not even that, because the dog licked Clark in the face, and that didn't do the trick. So
That did not do the trick. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm still
yeah,
running
no,
with a misnomer.
I just think that once a thing, even when it's gone through complete replication, I think it knows it's the thing. I think it's
Well,
it's
it'll
aware.
know.
It's
Blair
pretending
does
to
it
be
at
a
the
human
end.
being, but it knows it's not.
Blair does it in the end.
Well, yes, the thing is self-aware, and once it is replicated, yes, it's going to be its own thing, and it knows what it's supposed to be mimicking because it has the copies of its cells. So it's like, this is a human cell, and so this is how I'm supposed to do this. But of course, the human is no longer in control at that point. So I think it was interesting. It was an interesting question to say, is the real you there at least a little bit before it's the full replication occurs? And I don't know. It's fun to think about and talk about. But Franco Walker says, please subscribe, hit the bell, share, hit like, and select live chat. And can a thing recognize another thing? Ooh, that's a good question too. Wow. Maybe by the time you realize it,
I
it's
think
too
yes.
late. And you're too much thing. Oh, yeah, that would make sense in a horror movie. There's not a goddamn thing you can do about it except maybe do that thing. Yeah, that's the thing, is what I was thinking. That thing. Yeah, and if you care about your friends, maybe you would do that thing. And so of course they get the blood. Let's move on with the movie just a little bit here. And Raul Julia wonders if the thing even has its own intelligence, or if it can only be intelligent when it's being something intelligent. I think both. I think it has intelligence. It can survive. I think it thinks differently from whatever it's copying.
It appears to be
Right.
able to pilot a spaceship, and I'm going to say that's intelligence.
Yes, exactly. And so now they're watching some of the Norwegian video footage, and it looks like the Norwegians are doing some kind of surveying, and they discover the spaceship buried under the ice, and so that's how everybody figures out about the spaceship. And
They're very proud.
yeah, they used explosives to free it. Yeah, they are very proud of their
Oh, it's a big
discovery.
deal. Big deal.
Found a spaceship. That's
Well,
my
this,
Norwegian impression.
I really thought when I first saw this, and for many years after, only watching the commentary did I learn, I thought that was actual footage from the original film, from the Howard Hawks film. And it's
Oh.
not, but it's a very, very close recreation.
Nice. So they actually finally do go to the crater where the spaceship crashed.
This is the scene where, you know,
landed.
okay, there's nothing in the scene but a hat and goggles.
I don't care. I love the hat and goggles.
They're working.
fact-
It's a working hat and goggles.
If I can do it, if I can find that hat and those goggles, Halloween is set.
Oh, you'll have to grow
Well,
out your
okay.
beard for a year, though.
Nah, I'll get a fake beard. It's only for one night. What the hell? Am I a method actor? What do I look like? Daniel
And
Day-Lewis?
then you better get the wig too. Then.
Oh, you know what? You ruined everything again.
Well, his hair's not showing here. I guess you could just turn up the collar.
It's not cold enough, really, for all that get up.
So they rappel down to the spaceship and they examine it, but then of course they find the smaller hole that looks exactly like the big cube that they found earlier. It looks exactly like the spot from which the thing came from.
Yeah, this is all
Oh
a
my-
matte painting, which is amazing.
Jill, I just realized, did
Yes.
Enterprise rip off the thing
For the
when they
Borg?
had for the Borg? You knew
You're
this like
thinking the same
4
thing.
hours ago.
Yes. Yes, I
Oh,
did.
I didn't even think about it, but then I thought about Is it called Regeneration? The Enterprise episode?
Regeneration? No, that's
I forget.
with the
With the Borg and
Wait.
Enterprise. Somebody in the chat knows. I figured there's at least 2 Star Trek fans, and except for us. And so, but the thing is, is that they totally ripped
it's the
out.
one with
And then-
Shelby.
No, I'm to Enterprise
Oh, Enterprise.
with
Well,
Captain
well-
Archer.
Oh, okay, but in the Next Generation, they have the Borg.
Right,
making
but okay,
a
so in the
crater
movie
too.
in the movie First Contact, they blow up the Borg sphere, and then they pick up on that in Enterprise, where part of the Borg sphere crashed into like Alaska or the Arctic. I don't think the Antarctic, but then they find it, and then it assimilates and then leaves. And then
Oh, that's
the
right, but they don't ever actually see the Borg, or they don't actually.
Well, they never say we are the Borg. It's like anyway.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
They,
It's like when they meet
Yeah,
the Ferengi and the
they,
universal translators don't work, and so they don't know the word Ferengi, and so
mhm. Yeah, since it's a prequel, they don't want to take away from Picard or Captain Kirk or whatever. So they
anyway.
they eliminate some of the story effects. But yes, I do think that the Borg remind me a bit of the thing. There's the assimilation, there's the colony, hive mind aspects that make me think about it, and it's just impossible not to think about it.
So anyway, thank you so much for entering our Star Trek truck stop. We will be moving on back into the thing.
Exactly, yes. Oh shoot. Okay, I wanted Star Trek truck stop. I like that. So, just for that. This is also for Wes Cagle if you listen on the repeat.
Assimilate this.
That's what they needed, a wharf. Although, what would happen if the thing assimilated
Shoot.
absorbed a wharf?
I messed up.
You jump back.
I did not mean to do that.
Get back to where you want.
It's cool though. We get to recap.
Yeah, a quick recap if you are just joining us. We're going
Yes.
through it extremely quickly. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a scary one, kids.
Flashcards.
All right, there we are.
Here, welcome back to
Matt shot
River
on the back
Pente.
lot in Burbank.
Yeah, this. Tiger. Remember?
And yes, the
this-
difference. That is the difference. Greek letters. The Borg are cyborgs, and this is super organic, but no add-ons.
add-ons.
Yeah. That's
No-
why I say resistance is futile minus cyborgs.
And
in the
yeah,
poll, I say that in the poll.
this is one of the fully optical, I suppose, shots in the movie.
Well, and
aside
that shot
from-
it's a trick, an optical trick, but it's actually a painting.
Yes,
Which is amazing.
And that ice
Such
was
an art.
real. That super blue ice, totes real.
Really?
That's what they said in the commentary. They said, yep.
That's amazing.
So McCready is thinking and drinking and putting puzzle pieces together, and he
That sounds like a
understands that
country song.
It sure does. Thinking and drinking and putting puzzle pieces together.
That's essentially what he's doing.
All right, I got to go put
So-
some puzzle pieces together. I'll be back in a
Oh,
second.
don't take long.
I won't.
Just do half a puzzle.
The child doesn't believe what's going on. Palmer believes that we've had aliens on Earth for a long time now, so it isn't surprising to him.
Who says
So
that?
he's Palmer, the stoner.
Oh, sure. That's
yeah,
great.
so when Scotty was saying, "Oh, they're so proud of what they've done," I thought of this picture right here. All the Norwegians just super happy. They're toasting to their scientific discovery of the century.
Yeah, it would be. And right up to the point where it ate you.
Yeah, exactly. And they figure out that there's a smaller cut where the thing was that they dug up and they thawed it out, and this is it. And so finally everything is coming together, and it just makes a lot of sense that Knowles doesn't want goo from the autopsy in his trash can because somebody threw away some clothing.
No, I think Carpenter's
And so-
one of the guys, one of the Norwegians in that photo too, somewhere.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, before we get to this amazing computer graphics,
State of
Yeah,
the
so-
more
so-
than state of the art at the time.
yes, before we get to that, the clothes in the bin, obviously somebody is the thing and they threw away their clothes, and so who is it? We don't know. But then we will know soon though. We'll get there. And yes, this is great. I really love these computer graphics that detail the science that they're able to figuring that there is a cell in Bader and figuring out how it imitates the dog. So here's the cell in Schroeder and here's the dog cell, and then you get to see the assimilation process. This is one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie. This this little computer animation. The blue again is a dog cell, and the invading cell assimilates it, and then it starts the process all over again with the next cell and the next cell, and then of course it multiplies and I'm sure that it splits at some point, and as we see with the two heads that we saw earlier. Makes sense, I guess. I don't
Yeah, this was very much state of the art computer graphics in that era. Carpenter said that one of the reviews, somewhere he read somebody credible at that time in 82 who said, well, this isn't really possible to do on computers. And I'm like, I know that they had graphics on arcade games at the time that were comparable to this. So that's, whoever said that wasn't that knowledgeable about such things. But this was state of the art at the time.
Absolutely. It was done by John Wash, Carpenter's friend. And he also did this here. He also worked on Escape from New York computer simulation from the beginning of the movie. And it also says here colors were added by placing filters in front of the animation camera used to shoot the computer frames. And so, of course, there's some animation because this is cutting edge. This isn't something you could actually program at that particular moment. I guess you could, but they combined computer graphics with animation. That's fun. And
I'm surprised it's your favorite part.
it is. I really well. PG says computer screen exposition dump for audience benefit. I don't know. I just like it. I
It's
think
part of the storytelling. Everybody talks about exposition dump, exposition dump. I like the storytelling. It's part of the storytelling.
the thing
Oh,
thrown
and
away, its
MMM.
clothes in the bin surely answers the cue that the thing does know that it's the thing. Tiger Stripes wins that discourse.
Yay!
Well, at that point, yeah. At that point, once it's ripped the clothes off, yes, it knows it's the thing. I do believe at that point it knows it. I mean, at the very, very beginning, there's like, is there ever a point where I'm sorry, I still question it. And before it starts the transformation in terms of external transformation, it didn't, just get infected and suddenly you're the thing. I think there's a process.
Oh, it seems to be very tactile, very physical. The thing's literally got to invade your body with tentacles or some darn thing. And, and then immediately fuses and you start to be reproduced.
Yes.
But, if it was just, a simple saliva or fluid exchange, Clark would have been a goner immediately.
Yes, PG. Star Trek 2 was in 82 and it had
1982.
the Genesis CGI sequence. And who did the Genesis CGI? It was a company who went on to be Pixar, I think, and Star
Wow.
Trek. And that's just, well, Star Trek had the better animation. That's for sure. But I still like this one. It's still
very much.
fancy. And then Blair learns the horrifying truth. The probability that one or more of the team may be infected in this way is 75%. It pretty much gives you the raw data that tells you we are doomed. And if this thing gets out into civilization, it'll take over the world in 2,700 hours. 27,000 hours.
And I feel like, what's the point where Blair crosses over, where Blair is replicated?
I think it's starting. I think it's right now he's just becoming paranoid. He still has his mind intact, but I don't know at which point he's actually, because like Scotty said, he was digging right in there into the creatures. So when the infection happened.
So okay, I'm just asking about the math. 27,000. Do I divide that by 20? Like 27,000 hours, divide it by 24.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Per
gives
day.
us
it gives us 3 years.
3 years until the thing takes over the Earth. Okay, just
we might have
curious.
known that Jill already did the math.
Yeah, I'm glad I asked.
I'm glad you asked too.
Yeah, and and some days. And so Blair is almost. You asked how many bottles of J&B were on the camp. I don't know, but he's almost out on this bottle, and I don't see him get another one. So
Russell says early on in the commentary that the character's an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then maybe he has more bottles.
Yeah.
99 bottles of J&B on the wall.
He also drinks an assortment of beer. Like at one point he has a Budweiser. Another time he has a Coors.
Coors was kind of hard to come by for quite a long time. It was sort of a big deal.
Mm-hmm. And so Blair is now sufficiently paranoid and upset, and he pulls out his gun, and McCready's examining the ripped clothing. Actually, there was a scene early that was cut where McCready was watching the Norwegian tapes with his inflated blow-up doll. Apparently, it's supposed to appear later as a jump scare, but I didn't notice it. So I wish they would have included it. So it could. I love setups and payoffs.
There was a blow-up doll?
Yes, there was supposed to be, but it was a cut, deleted scene.
I'm glad they took that out. That's a little much.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? I've never resorted to fucking a balloon. So
There
It's
you
a
go.
sad statement, even as a gag gift.
Like, yeah, like you don't. I don't know, guys.
It's just
Anybody in the
something I see on
chat?
TV and movies too.
I'm waiting on sex bots.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like blow up dolls are those things that you just see in the movies on
Just
TV.
hump a pillow. Why spend the money?
All right. So Doc Hopper says, we're moving these things out of the lab into the storeroom. So they're moving the corpses and all the things that they've done autopsies on into the storeroom. And so Windows suggests, hey, why don't we burn these things? Which is a good idea. But Benning says, hey, but we might earn a Nobel Prize. Don't you want a Nobel Prize?
Yeah.
No. No, thank
It
you.
kind of looks like the dead thing is moving, and so that is where the audience knows what's going on, and the characters totally missed it.
Oh, yeah, jump scare.
Mm-hmm. Well,
No, it is moving. It doesn't
is
look like
totally
it's moving. It's moving.
It's moving,
Windows
and then this
notices.
one's dripping. He doesn't notice.
You
does he?
don't. Yeah.
They have
no,
their
he
back
does.
turned. Somehow the two of them miss it.
He does.
Yes.
He does look over and then dismisses it.
McCready just wants to go back to his shack and get wasted, but Fuchs is worried because Blair has shut himself up in his room and won't answer the door. And so, to McCready's credit, he does listen, even though he hasn't slept in days. And Fuchs says it needs to be alone in close proximity with the life form to be absorbed. The chameleon strikes in the dark. There's still cellular activity in these burned remains. They're not dead yet.
Ooh.
And that speaks to something that Blair knows that he has not yet shared with the rest of the class. And that explains why in the previous scene we saw the corpses move and Windows comes back to the storage room because he wants to lock it up, but Bennings is still in there, or at least Bennings was in there. Now Bennings has turned into something else. The assimilation happened really quickly.
Yeah, he was sitting in a chair.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There's no preamble here. It goes straight into work. The thing just does what it wants
to survive.
Yes, and it's wrapping up Bennings, and so he's our first official death here.
Well, and also confirm.
Oh, the dogs.
Yeah, the dogs.
Well,
but also
the first official human death is what I meant to say.
But also,
the Norwegian. I forgot about the Norwegian. Yeah, second. Yeah. The first death of the campers is okay. We got to fix my language.
Because when you were talking about a Drew Struzan poster earlier, Scotty, were you talking about the poster with just the image of the face, the twisted face on it, on the blue?
It's the one with the light escaping from the hood of the parka.
Oh, okay.
I love
from
that is iconic.
I have to go look for it.
The question,
dog lives matter, yes, Gavin.
They do, and
so
the
Norwegian lives matter.
Yeah, go watch Cujo. So, but like the whole flash of light escaping from the hood of the parka, where the mystery is, but also it's a terrifying light. It's not a warming light, and so I do think that the image that Drew Struzan created for the thing is it invites mystery, it invites question, and it's like the thing. And usually you associate bright light with good things. Go towards the light. The light will save. And then in this one, it's like, no. The light is the question. And I really adore that image because of the questions.
Is incredible that he could come up with that. He only had 24 hours to make that poster, and he didn't really even know anything about the movie. And
Scotty, you should fetch an image of it to share with us.
I will.
Wait a minute.
Or Jill may have one.
What? And besides, we can discuss. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
It's impressive.
Jill wins.
That's good.
Yeah, I had it here all along. It's also the thumbnail.
And also because everyone, as we've mentioned before, in terms of the uniformity of the parkas and the winter suits, it's like, so who is the thing? And that, even in the poster itself, begs the question.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Anyway, meanwhile, back at Crab
agree.
Hands.
Right. And of course, we know
Thank
this
God
is
he's got them.
nobody knows that it. Everybody knows at this point that this is not Bennings, and so they light it on fire.
Mm-hmm.
But they also mentioned that even with incontrovertible proof like this, a lot of people are still in denial. A lot of people don't move. It's really McCready who just jumps in there and gets it done.
Well, but it also
does.
it introduces a certain emotional investment with Gary. And it's like, Bennings has been my friend. And it's like, that wasn't Bennings. And like, that's, I think that also, it feeds into the narrative support of the paranoia and you get it first, really. Like, you get it through Blair, but when Gary says, but he was my friend, and then McCready is like, not that one. Sorry, that's
not
my
your
word.
friend.
That's not your friend. I'm doing a Snake Plissken, but
And that's okay.
Gavin Blackburn says those hands are horrific. They are, but when the mouth drops open and that unearthly sound comes out, that's where I kind of start to go, where the heebie-jeebies really get me.
Well, Tiger, have you ever seen the Donald Sutherland, Leonard Nimoy remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
I saw that one in the theater too.
Yes.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it. So
It's creepy.
Well, it's on the list. And so, but which Scream? Because like at that point, Bennings, the actor who plays Bennings, is not doing that with any sort of prosthetic. That is pure performance. Which one? And maybe it's unfair to make a comparison, but which one is the more jarring sort of?
This one.
Tarzan.
This one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it because of the crab hands?
No, it's the timing. It's
Okay.
because he's the first person that you see that's being destroyed by this thing. You witness the transformation. It's really horrific and so fast. So fast.
That's how I should have said it. Thank you, Tiger. The first person that we see transform. And, well, it's just not the alien monster bonfire I thought I was going to. And so then they can't find Blair. And so now there's a hunt for Blair. And then they see, it looks like Blair's running away from the helicopter. And then they see the helicopter's been destroyed. And Blair's got a gun. And he's trying to kill anyone who interferes with him.
Blair's got a gun.
And yeah, this is the point where I kind of wonder, is Blair the thing at this point?
Yes, that's a great question. Because he's trying to
destroying, their means of escape, their means of communication.
Yes, that means his main objective is to make sure no one can reach civilization, which is ironic because at the beginning of the movie, he was trying to get Windows to reach civilization. And now he's destroying the radio equipment.
But that was Gary, not Blair.
Oh, what? I thought it was... Well, at one point, Blair does.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I think
Blair
it's Blair.
does do it.
I think it's Blair. Yeah. He's the guy who turns the
Gary.
sound up on
Gary's
poor
only been
Windows.
No, that's Gary.
With the
that
photo
was Gary.
play.
No, I'm pretty sure I put Blair in my notes.
Well, we might have to back it up at the end of the thing to
We'll
see
check the tape.
Yes, we'll have to check the tape.
Don't worry about it. It's just anyway. It's detail.
So he's...
Well, it goes to Gary's nature because even though he's the captain, even though he's the commander, he's not really pulling his weight.
He's not hands-on. It seems like he's always away. And and it makes him a good suspect.
He's kind of checked out.
We were talking about Wilford Brimley, and I forget the last name of the actor who plays Gary, but Donald. He was the president in Clear and Present Danger. He played a oh my stars. He was in
Donald Moffat.
Donald Moffat.
Yeah,
He's
wonderful.
Been in
Wonderful
amazing actor. Amazing
Them eyebrows.
Actor. Oh my stars. Yeah, they're better than Scorsese's.
Childs comes back to report that not only did Blair destroy the chopper, but also ended all of the dogs. Did I say hands-on? Yeah, I did. Sometimes I don't notice. So Norris, that's his name. Norris gets a table to help, and Childs tries to talk to Blair, and Blair rants that he wants the thing wants to become us because we can travel. So that could be part of him knowing exactly what the thing is thinking because he is the thing. But does he know it? And
Maybe he does.
Childs tries to talk to Blair, and he says, "I'll kill you," and it is pretty great. But Blair immediately shoots at him, and McCready uses the table as a shield, so they're able to subdue essentially Blair. But something's very wrong with the windows. He kind of passes out.
Well, he did get assaulted, and there is blood on his head.
Yeah, he took maybe the flat side of the axe to the head.
Yeah.
Yes, he's got a major concussion.
Yeah. His eyes aren't focusing.
He needs to get some autism through the Tylenol.
And we do have some grief here. Clark has to discover that all his dogs are dead. And then they decide to lock Blair up in the tool shed. Gary is a coward, just waiting to retire, says Siphonophores. I was wondering that, but throughout the whole movie, McCready is the leader, even before he's officially the leader. There's so many things he does to be a leader that Gary doesn't do.
Siphonophores, you missed a question from Old Man Bird earlier, and he was like, how much money would it take for you to be in the Antarctic for a year? And maybe Gary could answer that question based on his retirement. Like maybe this is his last gasp at a comfortable retirement. All right,
also,
I do 1 year in Antarctica, and then I get to retire.
Well, that's also a good observation.
Also, thank you for the $2, Siphonophores.
Ka-ching! Yeah, and McCready is a Vietnam vet. He's a Vietnam pilot, and I get the impression that the commander is a civilian.
Sure. Yeah. Yes.
And there's a big difference there too.
Well,
understanding that the military bent of mind and.
This unit is different. It is well ordered.
Thanks again,
What a compliment.
Yeah, good to see you here. Keith David thinks he's the boss. Oh yeah. He also wants. He does offer to be the boss too. And hello, Max Redstone. $1 million
Max Redstone
for a year in Antarctica.
Clear, Max.
Yeah.
After taxes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Tiger Stripes wants you to remember taxes, so maybe you should ask for 2.
Yep.
And so they locked Blair up.
11 million.
You should watch. They should watch Clark. So he's directing the attention to Clark.
Yes, he's sowing distrust. So,
but he's also the primary biologist who did the autopsy on the big hulking freak, pardon the term, and it is a situation where it's like, well, we trust you, and also Wilford Brimley is a very trusting charisma, and so even when he is axing the hell out of servers and communication devices and shooting at his coworkers, it's still like once he's captured, it's like, I'm all right. I don't know. My Wilford Brimley impression is going to sound a lot like Daniel Plainview from There Will Be Blood. I apologize.
Yes, but that's when he is the thing, and he's like, yeah, he's super. Once he's actually not crazy paranoid, I think he's definitely fully turned. And
Keith David David.
See,
that
but
is smaller than this year's national deficit.
but you keep speaking, Jill, as if being transformed was a slow process. I don't believe it is.
Well,
I think it
you're
happens
backed
super
up.
clearly, and it's invasive and it's immediate. You know, it
It
happens
was invasive
within
and immediate.
10 minutes, beginning to end.
Even.
It happened that quickly for Bennings, but is it possible for the thing to potentially slow
Lie
down that
dormant?
process
I
if
don't
it
think
wanted
so.
to?
I don't think so. No.
I think the only thing that keeps it dormant in the first place is the freezing. Like Captain America.
Okay. Then if it's that fast, then I'm wrong.
No, this is just my gut
Yeah.
talking.
And this
You know,
is something
there's
that
no
I'm
right and wrong.
agreed.
Yeah, and
Like, this is-
all of these people argued about it over and over the whole shoot.
And
Yeah, exactly. And
yes,
that makes sense.
Jill.
So I want to. Some of them want to wait until spring for the rescue crew, but McCready says they could all be infected by then. And this is the first indication where we get that Doc Hopper wants to test their blood, but we have to wait a while before we actually get to the blood testing scene. So let's hold off a bit on that one.
Don't
And
say, make sure you're very specific, because Doc Hopper was the guy who wanted to make Kermit the Frog the
Oops.
mascot of Doc Hopper's frog leg. And
okay, I meant Doc Copper.
Doc
Copper.
Copper. Can we just call him Copper?
Sure,
Or
Copper.
Doc?
Doc. Yeah, we can call him either. Okay.
Because every other
Fair
time
enough.
I'm going to think of the Muppet movie.
And then McCready does tell everyone to keep a close eye on Clark because he was close to the dog. So the seeds of paranoia were successfully sown. And Fuchs is told he has to deal with the science now because Blair can't work on it anymore, obviously. So they get right on that. They get right on the idea of testing the blood, but they find that the blood has already been raided. And they try to discuss who has access to it. Copper and Gary have the only key, and he keeps it attached to his belt at all times, and only gives it to Copper when he needs it. And so
That's
now
an
they're suspects too.
negative.
Mhm.
Blood type joke.
Yes, blood type. Got you. So Windows is
Not funny. but
backing
whatever.
away now.
I'm working on. I'm trying to think of a response. I'm
So-
sorry. I'm a little
so
checked
at this-
out.
Well, I don't really know what the joke means. Like, I
Oh,
know
negative.
that I
It's a
know
blood
that O
type.
negative is a
yeah.
blood type.
Yeah.
I know that it's a blood type, but I don't know. what-
Well,
Double mean.
negative. That's
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just.
Oh,
Oh, he was
and
just saying.
I assume
and then
from
he
the
just added a
response
negative.
to the joke that the
if you have to
O
explain it.
was negative.
Yeah, I know the different blood types, but yeah, the joke
Really?
didn't land for me. Yeah,
Sure.
A, B,
There aren't that many
O
of them.
negative, O positive.
I'm AB negative. That makes me the universal recipient, I believe.
Blood
My-
type
my-
humor, classic. See, Max Redstone likes it.
I see
I
Max
didn't.
likes it.
Hey, Max. My
Max
blood
gets it.
runs red, white, and blue because I'm French.
So why does Windows back away at this news? He's either worried that Copper or Gary are infected, or he's worried about something that he's done, and that's also making the audience wonder who's the thing.
Oh, they've been doing that for a while, though, in this movie.
yeah,
Just the
they do, they
doors and
do.
the point of view of the camera, all of it. It's just amazing.
Right, and even down to the set decoration of making all the hallways as cramped as possible with all these boxes and everything.
Yeah, Carpenter
Yeah.
made a point in the commentary earlier on where Blair is sitting against a wall, and at some point, because there's so many people in such a small space, they pulled the wall out in order to move the camera back so that then from seeing Blair sitting against the wall, the camera
shit.
point of view shows, you
What
know,
happened?
from behind him. And there were people actually in the crew who were like, no, that's
Emergency.
you're breaking the third wall. You can't do that. That's wrong. And Carpenter's like, I'm going to do what I want. But it
Emergency!
was-
Emergency!
I got it. I fixed it. Calm down. It's okay.
I did something bad and I need it fixed now.
I fixed it.
Okay, I'm sorry for interrupting, but I did something bad and it
Yeah.
wasn't on purpose.
Okay, we're very sorry, Canadian Spider-Man. We love you. We did not mean to do that.
I did not. It was my mistake. I was just trying to remove one comment and I hit the wrong thing because the thing scrolled and it messed everything up. It wasn't anyway. And anyway, I'm sorry.
And that's what you
Was
get for doing
there-
shit while I'm talking. When you should be listening to
I
me
know, I
drone
shouldn't
on.
do shit in the first place, Tiger.
I guess I shouldn't ask what you were trying to delete because I missed
He
whatever
said,
it was.
so Canadian Spider-Man said, that's why Scotty is the secret weapon of your channel, just kidding Jill. And I was like, well, that's not appropriate so I tried to take away that one single comment because I don't want to. I appreciate the compliment, but I wanted to take away that compliment because
But he said just kidding, so it's okay.
I
mean,
know, but I wanted to get rid of it. But then it scrolled up, and then all of a sudden, I banned Canadian Spider-Man, and all of his comments were removed. And I was just like, "That is no."
Yeah, well, that's not good. Yeah.
Oh, it was
but he's back
terrible. It was
now.
terrible. I feel awful.
Well, it was an
Spidey,
accident.
talk to me.
Do I still
Spidey.
get? He's in the chat. He's responded. Do I still get the same pay scale? He's
Yes,
still here.
you get a
He
raise.
lost his wrench. Did he lose his wrench? Oh no!
We
Let's
re-wrench
go back.
him. We got to re-wrench him. That's why
Oh.
this was a red alert. I did something stupid.
Yes, you did.
I've done it
There's
before.
the wrench back.
But yes, please.
I'm
accept
banned.
my
Not
apologies.
the first time. Usually,
No.
it's from a pub or an RV park. Oh my goodness! No, it's okay. It's okay.
Fox Hills is leaving because I had a meltdown.
I'm not upset when people appreciate you, Scotty, and it's okay if people want to love on you and say, "Oh, you're the best," because you're the best, and it's okay.
No,
Was
you're
it
the
really an accident?
yes.
I know I can. I can. I've run several streams on my own, and they're all very good. But I appreciate having you here, and you do make things great.
Well, that was the worst possible way to respond to a compliment, and there you go. That's it. It's over.
Did I respond horribly to the compliment?
No, I did.
To abandon
I
them.
fucking banned and blocked Spidey because he complimented me. What a horrible way to respond.
Okay, yes, Fox has to go. Have a good
All
evening.
right,
I
see you,
gotta
Fox.
run. Yeah, have a great rest of your day, Fox. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful Friday.
Very nice to
pressed
meet
the-
you.
It
Fox
was.
Hills.
That's never happened on this channel before. We've never done that to Spidey. And it's all fun and games and still until someone loses their wrench. Yeah.
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada and Canadian on Canadian violence.
It is Canadian on Canadian violence. Yes, true story. Anyway,
Yeah.
moving on. It was paranoia.
on.
I thought Canadian
creature?
Spider-Man was the thing.
There you go. Istaphobo says the creature is afraid of Kurtzman Trek, though. It will run and freeze itself rather than having to watch. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Nah,
Okay. Ways to
Istophobos, if you were to actually
it
say
would get
it
back
was
on
like
the spaceship and go home.
the thing, it wants you to like Kurtzman Trek.
Yes. All right. Let's find where we are here before. Well, Tiger Stripes. Do you remember what you were talking about?
I remember it wasn't that important.
It was probably great, but
Thank you
I'll
for
have to
saying
listen.
so.
I'll have to listen on the replay because I got
My
distracted.
apologies. I distracted you.
And
It was my mistake.
So what
Let's move
happens
on.
here is a change in leadership. Gary now realizes that, okay, you guys must not feel comfortable with me being a leader, being a prime suspect. So he hands over the leadership and he wants it to be Norris, but Norris refuses. So remember that. Childs goes for it, but McCready gets there first. And he says somebody level-headed needs to be. I don't know how Childs is not level-headed, but anyway, what's left
Sometimes
of
the first
blood is
person who wants to be in power is not necessarily the best person for the job.
true.
Well, and also, you haven't really seen Childs up until this point dealing with anything, and it's just like, oh, who's in charge? And it's like, oh, I'm in charge. And
We
it's
just
like,
have to trust McCready to know more about him than we do.
I guess we've, like, as an audience, we've spent more time with McCready. Maybe we are manipulated into, not manipulated, but we are shown McCready to be more involved in this story than someone who shows up and says, oh, opportunity for leadership? I'll take it. Why? Because I like power.
No, I don't think McCready's that guy. I mean, the man's an
No,
alcoholic.
but I think Childs might be.
Oh, I forgot about. Well, we don't know too much. We don't know enough about Childs. Honestly.
Well,
He is the tallest. He's the tallest guy in the camp.
I don't think that's true. But
what, you think Gary is taller?
If we're going to talk about the way they're all just standing in a group, I think Massur's a tall man. He's downplaying it, but I believe he is.
Well, I forgot to mention that Windows also has a fit and tries to breaks into the guns, and he has to be taken down. Like, not taken down. He's not shot or anything, but he has to give it up. And they burn the rest of the blood. And McCready is now our leader, so he takes charge and he says, I know I'm human. Oh, wait, Scotty, I haven't had you read a line. Do you want to read something?
Sure.
I like this.
Whose line is it?
It's McCready.
Oh.
And there's more.
I know one. Well, I do, but who did I say I was going to do it as? I'm basically
Snake.
I'm going to be Snake. I'm not. Okay. Oh, all right. Let's see. McCready. All right. I got a great hat. Good at chess. Drink a lot. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I know I'm human. And if you were all these things, then you just attack me right now. So some of you are still human. This thing doesn't want to show itself. It wants to hide inside an imitation. It'll fight if it has to, but it's vulnerable out in the open. If it takes us over, it has no more enemies. Nobody left to kill, and then it's won. There's a storm hitting us in 6 hours. We're going to find out who's who. All right, Doc, Gary, and Clark, move over there, away from the others. Norris, you and Childs, shoot them up with morphine. That is an editorial. Tie him down and watch him. Fuchs, you start working on a new test.
Yes.
That was the worst. That was the worst line reading of the thing. If you would like to see the thing, go see it. It's better. Yeah, than
go
that
watch it.
Line
well,
reading.
Obviously, it's better than all of my line readings. So
I feel like I want to do that line reading again as Count Chocula, and you're not going to let me. And that is
you're going to have to do that. We're running out of time, so we're going to have to wait till the next shore leave. And I'll bring that to the next shore leave. You will read that again as Count Chocula. But right now,
thank you.
We've got to tie 3 of our primary suspects to chairs. And McCready actually gives us the captain's log, so we've got more McCready. I'm going to hide this tape when I'm finished. If none of us make it, at least there will be some kind of record. Storm's been hitting us hard now for 48 hours. We still got nothing to go on. One other thing. I think it rips through your clothes when it takes you over. Windows found some shredded long johns. But the name tag was missing. They could be anybody's. Nobody trusts anybody now. And we're all very tired. Nobody trusts anybody now. There's nothing else I can do. Just wait. R.J. McCready, helicopter pilot, U.S. Outpost, number 31. And important to note, and we're all very tired gets edited out. He edits that out of his reading.
Well, and
Fuchs
also in terms of the cinematography, it is like the camera is still in motion while all of this is happening. It's not just a flat sort of static shot, and it does sort of reverse shot through the door to see the back of MacReady, and then it fades to black. Like the movie itself is enticing you to find out whether or not the thing is looking at these characters and pouncing and assimilating, as you've so eloquently said. Like it is such a it involves the audience in the paranoia, which I think is expertly done.
it does, and we're right
Bye,
along with it,
Grogu.
wondering who is who. And Fuchs is coming up with new ideas for a test, but in the meantime, he has some suggestions. Everyone should prepare their own meals. I suggest we only eat out of cans, because he says if a small particle of the thing is enough to take over an entire organism, then everyone needs to pay attention to what they're eating.
Don't double dip.
Yes. And so his light goes out. Somebody turned off the lights. And as you do in a horror movie, Fuchs runs out with a flare and he finds a torn up coat of MacReady. And so now even the audience is thinking our hero, our leader could be a thing because of this.
Well, where did he get it?
Yeah, exactly. It's just there. Somebody runs out and Fuchs runs out with a flare to chase after somebody, but it seemed like that it was probably maybe Blair dropped it to redirect. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
The
I don't know
whole
how that
movie
coat
is a
got there,
guess.
really. It is. It is a guess. It could be
There is
anybody.
one tip off, but I won't
Mhm.
come to it until we're there.
Okay. And MacReady tries to figure out where Fuchs is, and they blew and so obviously it's possible that the thing did it and was just planting fake evidence. But so it's only a matter of finding whether Fuchs falls for it. But unfortunately, what happens instead is that he just gets all burned up. So what? There's more mystery that I don't think is really answered.
Oh, can I? This is what I want to read.
Okay, what do you want to read exactly?
I want to
Of
read.
him
I want
saying,
to
"I'm
read.
okay. I'm
Yeah,
cool now. I'm a good guy now. You should
yeah.
let me inside."
Do you want to
Okay,
do it?
I
You can do it. You'd probably
I
be
just
better
did
at
it.
it. Okay, great.
No, I mean, what else? I don't
No, you
remember
already did it. It's good.
I don't remember the line. Okay. Yeah, that's the paraphrase of the line. Is that
Yeah,
yeah,
That's
you should
fine.
stop asking, Scotty. If you have something to say, just go ahead and
yeah.
say it in the moment. That's
If you
a
want to do a
hoot.
line reading, sometimes I need a line to find the line in the script. I have
You
the whole
did
script
it.
here.
I think Carpenter said that the noose was like just an on-the-spot improvisation of an AD or something like that. Just somebody threw that up in there.
I was wondering about
It's a
that.
really good
Thank you.
addition.
I had no clue. Okay, why that was there. And
But this is
so Windows, MacReady, and Knowles all go together, and Nora stays behind to watch the tied up campers. And MacReady checks Blair to see if he's seen Fuchs. Blair says it's not Fuchs, but that I'm all bitter now. Let me come back inside. But MacReady isn't ready to chance that. And so they find Fuchs all burned up, or he lost his clothes somehow. And yeah, we assume that he's dead. And MacReady and Knowles go back to MacReady's shack because the lights were on. And he didn't leave. MacReady says, "I didn't leave my lights on, so we gotta go check that." And Clark starts the others on blocking the exits, which is a rather good idea. And Knowles finds the coat too, just like Fuchs. And so that's evidence to him that MacReady might be a thing. And Child is sure that no human could have made it back without a guideline. I don't know why he thinks that. I guess it's just impossible to see out there. I don't I don't know. Somebody could just get lucky or look at lights. But Palmer thinks that they should open the door to destroy whomever is on the other side. This is what's called a lightning round because I'm running out of time. And if it sounds like I'm rushing through, I kind of am. Windows considers whether they're wrong about McCready. Uh oh. Hold on. This one's going to get bad. Whomever's trying to get in now is using the supply window. And I suppose McCready guessed that they would suspect him, so he protected himself by getting a flare and some dynamite. And a scuffle happens because of Knowles, who is sure McCready is the monster. And Norris is hurt, so McCready calls for the doctor to be untied. And this is the part of the movie where finally the obvious is spoken to the others, but the others were too trapped by their paranoia. And McCready says, "Did it occur to the jury that anybody could have stuck some of my clothes up the furnace?" And so it was, yeah, so this was a surprise. This was the biggest surprise to me in the whole movie. Because this is definitely when I called out while I was watching.
Oh,
Because
yeah, this will make you holler.
Because I can handle gooey, creepy monsters, but an ordinary belly doing this? His stomach opens up just like a mouth with teeth. And of course,
You do know
There
that
it
you're lightning rounding through the last half of the movie.
yes? Is that okay?
So can we make this a part? Can we do a part 2?
Maybe we should do that.
Because I
Oh,
don't.
you always ask that, but I always figure this out. Unless
Well,
there's
then
something
you
wanted
go,
to add.
girl.
If you need to add something, you can.
I
I'm
have
not saying you can't
things.
say anything.
I watched an audio commentary. Tiger did too. We could
Okay.
actually go
Well,
into
obviously, you've got. If you want to talk about the Norris monster,
It's
you definitely
Halloween
can.
month. What? You don't want to talk about this?
I did talk about it. I am talking
right.
about
Well,
Botine
if we're-
said they had to do this shot twice because the first time, well, more than once, I think, but the
Thank you,
first
Tiger.
time, the goo that spouted out of the chest was kind of moving really beautifully and rhythmically, and it looked like a fountain at Las Vegas. And Carpenter called Cut and said, "What the hell?" And they had to kind of reconfigure it and shoot it again just because of that. It was just too perfect.
Yes.
Like the guy who played Norris had to lie down for 8 hours to have the prosthetic built around him.
Yeah, he said his back was out for a week.
Yeah.
And then he turns into a spider.
And one of the biggest comic relief lines of all time, not even just of this movie.
It's also, oh, yeah. But I also, when I say xenomorph, I think that the thing absorbed a facehugger. Although spiders are prevalent in nature, I suppose, or at least on our planet.
No, they're not. I mean, eight-legged things are not that common. Some people speculate that they might be interplanetary.
Intergalactic planetary. Planetary intergalactic. Oh, I have breaking news from...
McCready sees the head spider. He blasts it with fire naturally, as you do to heads that
As you
walk on
do.
spider legs.
But Clennon gets that great line. Is it "you got to be fucking kidding me" or just "you got to be fucking kidding"?
That's right.
It is me.
That was one of the lines Scotty would have wanted. I didn't ask him what clips he wanted before the show.
One of the great lines of all time.
Well, and that's the second.
You got to be effing kidding me. No me.
Just kidding.
But that's the second point of levity in this movie.
Might
Do you
be
agree?
3 if we count Knowles. If we count
So here
Knowles.
we go. We're making it. So McCready wants everyone tied up.
And the Norwegians.
Child says he'll refuse, and McCready says that he'll have to kill him then. And oh, poor Clark, the dog keeper, steps forward and gets shot and killed. And
I love.
everybody's very sad.
I think this is a. You know what, Clark, I'm okay with, but when McCready puts the gun to Child's head, and he's like, "I mean it," and Child says, "Yes, you do." And there is sort of an agreement in that minimalistic statement, I think, is badass. Simply because a person being like, yep, you have me, please don't kill me, but also I am not pussying out. Like, Childs is amazing,
Agreed.
Keith David is amazing, and it's just like, and that's why I do appreciate the fact that, spoilers, they're the last two. Meanwhile, who is this guy?
I appreciate you pointing that one out. Which one?
Minakakis? Windows.
Which Windows? Yeah. So everyone's blood is being drawn, and they're trying to figure out who is human or not human. I saw this parodied on South Park. Whomever's blood isn't human should jump, right? So I knew that because of the South Park clip. And it wasn't about being a monster, though. It was about kids having head lice or not. And the whole joke at the end is, everybody, you all had head lice.
It doesn't prove a thing. I think that's intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Intentional fun.
Yeah.
I don't have head lice.
No, I know, but Cartman used the blood test to anyway.
What, like, why is it bad
To pin
have
it
head lice?
on Kenny? No, because they're kids and
No, but
like
why
having
is head
cooties.
lice bad?
It's bad because
Scotty, do we really have to do that?
No, we don't have to do that.
Do we have
right
to have
now.
that conversation now?
No.
They're gross. They're gross, and nobody wants bugs on their head.
Have you ever had lice of any kind, Scotty?
Never.
They are impossible to get rid of.
Are they
Yeah,
itchy?
you've got
Oh, it's just a nightmare.
To get rid of.
I
Just
did.
need
Well,
lots of
then good.
mayonnaise.
A
I'm glad I
nightmare.
found out. These things are itchy. That's all you had to tell me.
They've got really great shampoos that get rid of them, and if you have kids, you know about it.
I don't. I
You
don't.
know, and
Nightmare.
I guess maybe the cold in Canada.
The lice, not the children, ladies and gentlemen.
Nightmare.
anyway, but that's the South Park tangent that I wanted to throw in there. And so they tie everybody up, and they started doing the blood tests. So this is that thing, and he also says McCready gives his rationale why he thinks this will work, why he thinks lighting up this needle and making it hot and putting in the blood is going to reveal the thing.
Oh, right.
Because when watching Norris gave him the idea that maybe every part of him was a whole. Every little piece was an individual animal with a built-in desire to protect his own life. When a man bleeds, it's just tissue. But blood from one of you things won't obey when it's attacked. It'll try and survive. It'll crawl away from a hot needle. And so the thing is a colony creature.
Yeah, you sent me a message as soon as you found out that the thing was a colony creature, and you were like, "Yay!"
Hey,
and then you started talking about Bem from Star Trek the Animated Series, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
See? We got a colony creature worse than Bem.
Yes, finally.
And there's no doctor anymore, so they're drawing blood with a knife.
Commentary too. They mentioned that there was, whenever they had to put a needle in an arm, which audiences really react strongly to, by the way. A lot of people have needle phobia. There was one cameraman who'd volunteer for it all over and over again. Nobody else wanted to do it. And he was fine with it. He said, I can do this all day. And then they were joking that he's still currently in rehab, but that's a very dark joke.
So
oh my God.
Watch the movie. Palmer's blood leaks, and there he is.
Oh my God.
is here.
Sporf, hey, SP4H. Blink and you'll miss it scene. The person who is actually the thing in the scene has a very brief face, and you can tell it's the thing. Nice.
What, like Ben Grimm?
No, not that thing. I knew somebody was eventually going to make that joke, but it took a while.
Well,
Poor Windows.
which one of these guys is transforming currently?
It is
Megatron.
Palmer.
Is it Palmer? It is Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer. Yeah, right? What part of the movie is this? And so poor Windows was just proven human, and the thing gets him.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Windows.
Me too.
Well, I feel
And
terrible for
McCready-
Clark.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And-
I feel bad
He
for
was my
Clark.
number one suspect, and I feel bad. He's just a guy who's not making good eye contact. He's more human than anybody.
Yes. And Childs passes the test. That's coming up soon.
Yeah. Well, and also, like,
And at
people
least
who are
McCready
fans...
Finds the
People
use
who-
for this dynamite.
People who are fans of Blade Runner, in terms of when you have an eye light or an eye line with lighting. Dean Condy did a situation where all of the people who were in the seats, there was a little bit of an eye light, except for, you know, the guy that you love, Tiger. Norris? Who's the guy? The guy at the beginning. You
I
got to
love
be
them
fucking
all.
kidding me. You got to be fucking kidding.
Oh, McLennan.
McLennan.
Yeah,
So
and
when
he
McLennan,
says
he
that.
doesn't have the eye light. He doesn't have the eye light, which is somewhat of a visual foreshadowing of who is or is not going to be the thing.
I
That
don't
they
think that was
abandoned that
intentional.
idea. I think they did do
It
that
was
for a little bit,
was an idea. It was an idea.
but they abandoned that at some point. But I don't know. at
They
which
did
point during
abandon
filming.
it at the end. Yes, but we'll get to the end when we get to the end. And so,
Yes.
That's interesting.
but I do, yeah, apparently it was a cinematographic decision.
And so
No, the other thing.
Gary is proven that he is human. So what was? And then he had a line. You liked his line.
I did. Now untie me, because I would like to spend the rest of the winter not tied to this fucking couch.
Very good. And great delivery. So I can understand why you wanted that one. Oh, there it is. You want to try again?
No,
No, I
did it.
thought he nailed
I
it.
guess he did. Okay. It was just a little, the words were just almost perfect. So they have, everybody
not
has
gonna do it as
flamethrowers.
well.
Why don't scientists have flamethrowers? I don't think we need to justify that.
You know what? If you're a scientist, if anybody is a scientist listening to this this video podcast, this review of the thing, if you are a scientist and you do not have a flamethrower, complain. Say, I'm a scientist. I need a flamethrower.
You
What if
should
there's
be able
a thing?
You should be able to write a grant. And
Yeah.
look what Blair's been up to. He's been making a spaceship.
I also think if you've got to cut through, the kind of permafrost that exists in Antarctica, you need a flamethrower. You don't want to do that with a saw.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. With the ice and everything, that does make sense why they have flamethrowers.
That's what the founding fathers intended. The right to bear arms, and in fact, was changed. Because initially it was the right to bear flamethrowers, even though the flamethrower had not yet been invented.
Well, I think that
Because you got to dream. You got to dream.
This was
Yeah.
all shot in
American
L.A.
dream.
Part of the American dream, yes, Scotty. So
They kept the set cold, but then they also had to put a lot of humidity in the air so that their breath would frost,
agreed.
which is
Yes,
interesting.
very much so. Right. That's why they had to be cold the whole time.
Yeah, a
And
lot of this
so-
stuff that burned and, the special effects and all of the goo, it put like a miasma in the air. And Russell said, if the day ever comes where all of us come down with something incurable, I know which movie caused it. Again, very
That's
dark
true.
humor.
Well, yeah, if there was a epidemic.
30 years
fortunately, that
later,
didn't
they all
happen.
start to expire from some sort of respiratory thing, this is the movie. Because a lot of this stuff that was special effects that had to burn really let off all of kind of toxic fumes. I was kind of wondering when they said early on that the one woman who was in the crew had to leave, and I think that's got to be why. It's just got to be because of all the fumes in the air.
And I like the fact that Blair makes a spaceship, because if he was the thing when he was destroying the helicopter and the tractor and the dogs and the radio, all the only means of escape, it would make sense now that he'd keep all the humans from escaping when he has his own method of escape, which is to take. He wasn't destroying the helicopter just for keeping the humans from escaping, but to plan his own way to travel. And so that's fun for me. And Child leaves the camp. All the electricity goes out. McCready says that Blair got inside and blew the generator. And it's also mentioned it's going to be 100 below in 6 hours. Incredible. Gary says that that's suicide to turn off the generator. But McCready says the thing can withstand such freezing temperatures, which is true because that's how they found it. They found it in it'll just go to sleep until a rescue team finds it. Just like it slept for thousands of years, it could do it again. And he knew that. And that's how he knew that. And then he threw the dynamite to destroy the spacecraft. And that's when all the explosions start happening. They escape the explosion and start blowing more things up, especially the transportation vehicles. Then they go down to the generator room. The generator's gone, and so there's no way to fix it. It's not there. Can you fix it? And he says, it's gone. So Niles and Gary, and so we get to the point where they're planting dynamite.
Yeah, they never really agree on it, I think. I could be wrong. What do you think, Scotty? But at this point, they realize they're not going to survive this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely the case. Especially McCready. I think he's the one who's not, who's pretty sure that they're going to have to give themselves up for humanity at this point. And also because all the power's out. And then especially they know they're not going to survive it when they decide they need to blow up the whole camp.
Oh, this is so super creepy.
Yes, and of course this is definitely a scary moment. His throat is muffled to keep him from screaming, and Niles follows after him, and he disappears too.
Well, Niles gets immediately absorbed.
Yeah, he's gone, and the thing bursts through the floor and steals the detonator.
Get to the chopper!
No. McCready still has dynamite. So once to go dynamite, he throws it and it causes the chain reaction.
The thing takes the detonator? That's a good eye.
Yeah.
I missed that.
The thing takes the detonator, and that is also, in terms of the special effects, that's stop motion.
All right, with a tentacle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this thing burst out of the floorboards.
Yes. This is delightful. Swipe right if you're on Tinder and you see this.
It's very similar to the original Little Shop of Horrors, the end of that, with the plant with all of the people's faces that it's eaten.
Oh, yes.
It's evocative of that. I don't know if that was their intention, but...
And so McCready throws the dynamite and says, "Fuck you too!" And blows it up, apparently. And that is the destruction of the practical set, which we do see previously as the Norwegian camp base, what have you. And yeah. So
wow, that's quite a fire cloud. That's the real deal.
Apparently they used remote cameras because it was like if you were that close, it was you're not gonna.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would mean the cameraman would have to be there to set up the cameras while the Well, did they set up the cameras before they rigged the site?
No,
Yeah.
Or
after.
After, but or maybe
No,
before.
they did it before. Of course, I'm being
That's-
facetious.
No, but I don't know. Okay.
But I
It
mean,
would
there's
be-
more than a couple of shots where Kurt Russell is really throwing an explosive. I don't know if it's actually dynamite, but he's lighting it and throwing it himself. And he was surprised.
This was filmed in
He says-
1981.
he,
A lot
he says
of
he
this.
says he was lucky.
He said he felt things go through him.
Yes.
And so no, but this is again, this was filmed in 1981. This was an age of where practical effects were your only option, and danger was the order of the day. There have been people who were burned alive, not literally, but like the dummies that were shown to be burned alive, they were manipulated by rods and sticks and things from off set. But the set itself was on fire, so they're sitting there on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, so if there's a puppeteer there,
they're like, okay, so when can we get out of here? Because
they're getting toasted.
I'm almost on fire. And Kurt Russell as MacReady. We should go through all the
we're
names.
not going
Do
to
you
talk
have all
about the
names?
ending?
Well,
we
of course
gotta
we're going to talk about the ending. I was
All right.
waiting for Scotty to finish what he had to say.
Waiting for Scotty to shut up. Anyway,
Yeah, I was waiting for
love
Scotty
you,
to
babe.
shut up. I forgot about Childs. Childs seems to be upset that things are too hot from the explosion, or is he happy that things are too hot from the explosion? Well, he says it's not going to last forever. So is he saying it's not going to last forever and then I can be a monster? Or is he saying, we have until the explosion dies down until we freeze to death, which is the question of the movie. If he was a monster, wouldn't he just walk away from it until he leaves camp and then he can, let himself freeze? And so that's the question of this movie, is the next poll that we're going to have. So we're going to close out this poll right here. Sci-fi ideas make the thing more thoughtful. Which is the most powerful one? And so I'm going to switch to, we are going to talk about
answer
the ending
that.
here. Yeah, we're answering this. We're going to share it. And I'm going to share this screen right here.
Very dwarfish?
Wait, not that one. Not that screen. Why does that always happen? That's not the right one. Hold on, just a moment.
You're
this
always
one.
promoting my OnlyFans.
Sci-fi ideas make the thing more thoughtful. Which is the most powerful one? So we've got every molecule is a living being at 44%. And we're going to...
But I think you colored the poll by sharing your personal preference, Jill.
I did. Visually perfect bioreplication, 41%. Well, these are all the sci-fi things that I like about the movie. If this movie didn't have these sci-fi elements, we wouldn't even be talking about it. Earthlings impending endangerment. Like, Blair finds out right away. It would only take a few years for the thing to take over the world. And that's pretty scary. And then, of course, I talked about the Borg. But I'm going to end the poll. And there we go. There's the... And then we're going to put in the new next poll.
Well, and while you're putting in the next poll...
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this final exchange between Blair and MacReady?
Well, that's why I want to put in the poll before I talk about it, actually.
Childs and
MacReady and Childs. Right. I need the poll first.
And so one of the
Good call, Childs.
One of the things that I want to express is that, and we're not sponsored, but the Nacelle Company is making individual Star Trek action figures for some obscure characters. They've got like Captain Rachel Garrett from the Enterprise C. They've got Captain Jellicoe. They've got David Marcus, Carol
Does this
Marcus.
tie back into the thing?
Yes, it does.
I'm waiting.
And one of the action figures, which apparently is from like Wave 2, and this is the thing that I despise about the Nacelle Company, is that they are announcing all of their waves of action figures. They have not released a single action figure. I have not seen one of their dolls. And so I'm still a little on the edge here. But as a Star Trek fan and as a friend of Jill, I know that Jill adores colony creatures. And so in wave 2, if such a wave ever actually exists, there is a BEM. And my intention is to get Jill a BEM, because it is BEM from Star Trek the Animated Series is basically a colony creature, much like the Thing. Jill adores colony creatures. So if you're ever wondering who Jill thinks is the hero of the Thing, it is the Thing.
That's interesting. I mean, colony creatures. I can't even really think of any. I mean, we don't really have any on this planet, do we? I mean, the
Yes,
closest
we do.
I can think
We
of,
do have
the
colony
closest I can
creatures.
think of is coral, and they're still all individual,
Coral.
aren't they?
Yeah, coral are colony creatures. Yeah, they're all individuals, but they live together as a colony. So I still call them a colony creature because if you step on them, they're gonna, will they not hurt? And so there's another colony creature that lives in the sea that I forget about that I need to remember the name of. That yeah, they get together and one part all together. They're all individual organisms, but they get together to form the brain or the all different kinds of organs. It's really
The
fascinating.
seaweed is always greener in somebody else's
But
lake.
yes, I do like colony creatures, and I did put the next poll up.
Oh,
If you
shit.
can
Yeah,
hear
great
me.
poll.
The
Yeah,
final thing
Istophobos
you're
mentions
in-
mushrooms, which is interesting.
Yes,
Well,
mushrooms
that's
too,
kind of like the
but those are
what do you call
fungi.
it? I'm a fun guy.
Yeah, well, a mushroom, it's like a little more than a plant. I'll allow it as a creature. I don't know. Maybe yes,
You
maybe
can
no.
think all together. Yeah, as beings, they do get together individually. They may not have much, but together they can sort of think in a way. I don't know what way that is because I do not speak mushroom.
Well, the mycelium, the part underground, is massive. What we
Mycelium
think
network.
of what we think of as a mushroom is just the fruiting
Yes,
body.
the real one. The real one, Scott.
What? The one by Dr. Stamets?
Yes, the real Dr. Stamets. The real mycelium network underground that Tiger Stripes is talking about. That you talked over as she talked about it.
My mistake.
And I think I would have gone for both are human, humanity doomed. And I don't like nihilistic endings by and large, and yet somehow I love the thing. It's funny.
Oh, I didn't get the poll right then for you.
No, I'm just, I went for both are human, humanity saved, but I do think both of them are human. I think if one of them wasn't, then it would just immediately go for absorption. It would just, it wouldn't take the time to shoot the breeze.
Yeah,
it's,
exactly.
It's possible that both of them are infected, but I don't think McCready is infected. That's not what I see, and I don't think it was even their intention. I think Carpenter mentioned that they considered that as an ending, but then discarded it.
They did. There were solutions where McCready gets blood tested later, and they're like, "Oh, you're not a thing, so we're sure everybody is saved and everything." They don't do that, and there are cases where they decided maybe we should have them both destroy each other. But instead, they decided to keep it ambiguous. And Carpenter says if you're paying attention, you can figure it out. But it always seems to be
He needs
a
to
question.
speak up. Did he ever say, Scotty?
He said all the answers.
Because I know he's been interviewed about it many times. And
Well,
even if they are both human, they're going to die. They're not going to survive this.
Oh yeah,
It's impossible to survive.
They will die, but humanity will be okay.
No, I don't think humanity will be okay.
You think the thing is still alive?
You think
in
the
something
thing
else?
is going to... Wow.
Oh, yeah.
What is it? Does it need a? Then that's the
Yeah,
question.
it would need
Does the thing
need
a
something to
host?
carry it, and all that it would take would be like a seagull, just some sort of Arctic tern, some sort of bird that sees it and decides it's going to eat it, or get close enough to eat it.
Did we see any birds in this movie?
No, there
but
were
that
no
doesn't.
women.
But that doesn't mean that they're not present and flying over.
What
you know,
about
and
an insect? Would an insect be enough?
that's a good call.
Yes, based on the blood.
I don't even know if there are insects in Antarctica.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
see, these are the questions that were not answered. I didn't see any bugs. I didn't see any birds.
But
Because
that's
we're
the
assuming every living thing we saw was dead. The dogs, the people.
But they do
And all we
mention
had
in the book, they mention, a bird. If a bird were to fly over, that would be a great
it's
host.
in the book.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
it would. It would. And I would imagine the thing has a certain period of time where it needs to feed. It needs another host.
But I think it is, like, in terms of storytelling, I think it is important. You know how people say that something is timeless, but this movie obviously sets itself in the winter of 1982 in Antarctica. And so it's like, this is how this group of men uh, stopped an alien invasion. And I'm including the Norwegians. Like, I'm just saying, like, this is an encapsulation of what happened in 1982. A bunch of scientists and pilots and a cook decided that they were trying to survive, and through their ingenuity, they also saved the rest of the world.
Yeah, and I would like that. I would like that if that was the eventuality that they saved the world by just ending it all here.
Dying.
Yeah.
You
that's
would
dark.
need to leave a big message that you could see from the air, to quarantine the area. And even then, it's hard to imagine how you would stop this
Right.
thing.
You have to warn people. And the only warning I think was left inside. There was a tape that was hidden by McCready
It
somewhere.
got blown up.
It
It
got
wasn't
blown up.
hidden. It
Maybe
just
it's
got
in his
blowed up.
jacket, but even then, by the time they get down there and they're going through his jacket, if they think to do that, I don't know.
American Bandstand.
It's pretty dark.
Bandstand.
It's a dark movie. Maybe, it's not the happiest ending.
It's not supposed to be. It's a horror movie.
It's a
By
it's a horror movie.
definition.
I didn't like the end of Colossus, the Forbidden Project either, but I love that movie. So this could be kind of like that, the in that one it's definite that the computer's taking over the world. And
Again, I get to argue with Scotty because I think this is a science fiction movie.
It's a sci-fi horror.
Yeah, it's sci-fi horror.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, like Alien.
Yeah, that's why I'm here. Windows was infected. Windows always gets infected. I love that joke. I didn't notice that.
Who said that? Oh, Siphonophores. Very clever. Very clever.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed you leaving, Brogu. I was in the throes of reviewing.
You were speed running, Jill.
I was so long.
We dallied too much. You need to tell us ahead of time when our closure closes, so we can try to be a little more.
But I
we spent the first hour just dilly dallying.
But I love your dallying. I don't.
Not at the expense of the excellent second half of the film with all of the goo.
Well, if you had anything else to add about the goo. We can always talk
We had
about it.
so much to talk about when it came to goo.
We did.
Well, what did you have?
No, it's too late. It's over. I don't care.
Don't be a sulky baby now.
I'm a sulky baby.
If you had something to say, you would say it, meaning you didn't. You don't have. Like, come on. Like, don't put it on the speed or slowness or fastness.
I am. I'm putting it on the lightning round.
No, you can't.
I kind of love that for Mr. Phobos.
And teasing me with things that you want to add without adding it means that I'm going to assume
Where Siphonophores said, and you have to excuse the swear, I about shit myself when I first saw this. No, yeah. To this day, when I was watching it this morning in the wee hours, and I was just watching listening with the commentary, mind you, which was a real mollifying, thing to hear Russell and Carpenter talking instead of listening to the dialogue and that very tense soundtrack. And I found, like, within the first 3 minutes, I was balling my hands in my, in my lap. I was just gripping them together, and I had to kind of let go. And I just kept doing it again and again throughout the film. It is so tense.
Well, and one of the best things about the audio commentary is that even Kurt Russell says, "Was I the thing?" And John Carpenter says, "I don't know. Were you?"
Well,
and Kurt Russell is like, "I don't know. I've been asking you for so long." And he's like, "I don't know. What do you think? I don't know. What do you think?" And
Carpenter's being very,
yeah, but this is
glib. He knows what he should just say it.
I don't think he should, because I am a firm believer of it's almost David Lynchian in terms of once the art is released into the world, it does belong to the audience, and explaining it, as you've mentioned before in this conversation. It's like if you have to explain the joke, it kind of sucks. I think that the people who listen to it are just as responsible for their emotional reaction to the story. And if that's how you take it away, then that's how you take it away. Why would you let anyone else explain it to you if that's the way that it emotionally resonated, intellectually resonated?
Because people want to know how the story ended.
I want to know the film.
It doesn't matter.
Can somebody else have a word here, Scotty?
You can have 7.
I want to know the filmmaker's intention. I want to know the filmmaker's intention. 7 words.
Yes, me too.
To intrigue your audience is their intention.
Yeah, it's also kind of infuriating, though. But Nim says Childs is ready to jump him.
Why do you have to be spoon-fed?
I don't have to be spoon-fed. I want to know the filmmaker's intention. I don't mind having my own interpretation. I don't mind talking about it and criticizing it. But I just want to know what they had in mind, particularly if they already think they know and they're just giving that smug smile. Well, I know what I meant.
Mona Lisa?
And it's like, no, it's Alex Garland. I've watched a couple of his movies where he says, I don't want to tell people what the film means. I want them to tell me what it means. And I'm like, no, F that. If you didn't know what your intention was when you went in making this film, then that's why it's not a good film. That's why it's falling apart. Don't ask me to hold up what you have not done your homework on in terms of making a movie. But at any rate, this is not that.
And as I previously mentioned, I subscribe to the David Lynchian.
But what do you think about the end of this movie? What do you think's going on?
I agree with Tiger.
That's fine. That's cool. But when David Lynch says,
but what do you think about the end of this movie?
What does the filmmaker want to say about the film? And then David Lynch responded, and it's like, well, I made the film. That's what I wanted to say. So you can take whatever you think, and it's not up to me. I already said the thing, says the filmmaker. And so whatever you want to receive on that end, if you received something different than I intended, good. If you received something that I wanted, good. But as long as it engaged your imagination, then that is the important part.
Yeah,
but what do you think about the end of the movie, Scotty?
Think about it, and like Tiger said, I like thinking about it. I like the theorizing. I like interpreting it myself. But what did the author want me to think?
Yeah, what does Daddy tell me I'm supposed to think about it?
Daddy,
how dare you? That's rubbish.
Well, no,
but you still haven't answered my simple question, which is, what did you think about the end of the movie?
I think
what do you think's going on?
I think that they're both people and they're willing to die for the safety of the rest of the world.
Yeah, and that's
Because
what
I'm
John
an
Carpenter.
optimist.
That's all he'll say. That's all John Carpenter will say. So that is exactly what he says. That's what Daddy says to you, but that's not.
No,
If
that's
I
not
want
what
more, that's
Daddy
not
says to
bad.
me.
Well, see how it feels to get that line thrown back at you. That's not a very nice line to somebody
No, but
who
I'm
is
talking about what
intellectually
I
discussing these
saw
movies.
in the movie. I'm talking about what I saw in the movie, not what anything else happened. It's like it's the same thing, same day. Like if you want to ask me whether or not Deckard's a replicant, Deckard is a human, and why? Because
Deckard
that's
is
how I interpreted it.
and
And am I
Deckard is a
correct? I don't think.
replicant.
You know what? I've been told by the director that I'm wrong, and so when it comes to, I
Oh, gee.
appreciate John Carpenter saying whatever you want.
That's not what he's
Yeah.
saying. He's saying, I know, but I'm not going to tell you.
Yes,
That's
that's right,
fine.
Tiger. I know, but I'm not going to tell you. So what?
Good.
He doesn't want us
Don't.
to ever know.
Well, it's
And
like
he says,
Tarantino
if
in the
you're watching the
briefcase with the
movie,
goals.
well, we can both have different opinions. You can say that
No, you can't.
you can say that you appreciate what the director says in terms of letting the audience come up with their own interpretation of the ending and that being valid but I concede to Tiger Stripe's point that the director knows what the ending was, and it would be neat if he would say it, but his intention was that you never really know for sure, and some people really like the mystery of that, and I don't think that either opinion is invalid. They're both valid, which is why we're yelling about it.
Mark Harkness says, of course, a debate has rules. Hey, no rules in a knife fight.
I've really got to go.
I know you do.
I think this is
You
a
and me
great
both, sister.
conversation. So, but this is a good conversation. It's just that we've got to remember how to speak to each other.
What did you
I
think, Jill, of the
refuse.
ending? What did you go for in the final
Well,
poll?
what I go for in the final poll is that, well, I think Childs is infected. I think I agree with this. I like this theory that a lot of people go into, and it's right here in the comments. Here, one of them, Childs has no need to go after McCready. He's into saving energy before going to sleep, but drinking from McCready's flask gave himself away. And there's
because McCready's flask is full of gasoline. That's the idea.
That's headcanon.
Yeah. That's and that's fully. It's possible that that's true or not true.
Never represented
because
on screen.
Molotov cocktail could be made with whiskey too, so there's no way to know that particular thing. But that's not the only thing.
When they put Blair in the cabin, McCready puts down a little bottle of booze for him, and that could be a point of infection. You always got to wonder about that.
Oh, that's true.
And I've heard people speculate then that when McCready cuts his own hand to put in, to do the blood test, that he's kind of hiding his hand. It's curved, and it's actually a fake hand, which is why it's curved, and that he actually has blood that he's taken from when the blood was destroyed earlier.
Mm-hmm. But and there's lots of theories we can get into.
Real
we could be here
speculation.
All day, but I've got to. This is so. If we ever did have a part 2 of this stream, it would be about the last 20 to 30 minutes of the movie, and we'd go over all the things
probably
get to talk about. And yeah, probably 10, 20 minutes maybe. And we could talk more about these theories because we could talk about this for another hour and not be finished. So, but we do have to go for now. And maybe one day we'll have a part 2 where we really dig into this particular theory that a lot of people love to talk about. I loved learning about this. And that's exactly what Carpenter wants. Is for this movie to be legendary and everybody talk about it forever. And it is. And now everybody is going to talk about it forever because he wouldn't give it up. So anyway, we'll meet up for part 2 one day. This is not over. But I do have to go.
Over.
But
It's
today it's
over.
over.
We're
Well,
going to
that's
talk
why-
about the prequel from 2011.
Okay. Let me end the show, and we're gonna head out of here. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Thank you, Tiger Stripes and Scotty, and
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
And I hope, well, and it's not Halloween yet, but it's getting close, and I hope we got you guys in the spirit of Halloween a little bit with this horror movie. And it was a great. It's a good monster. And
I want to come
this
back
movie-
inside right now. I'm
The-
not going to hurt anybody. If I'm not okay, I was okay, but I wasn't okay before, but I'm okay now. I don't want to hurt anybody.
the thing is a monster that gets under your skin, and the ending of this movie does the same thing, apparently. So thank you for
Ooh.
joining me. And join me next time for part 2, where we argue about the last 10 minutes of the movie. Thank you, guys. And I'll see you later.
We'll do it on Christmas.
Oh, that was it. That was it. You're not supposed to share.
No, we have to do the
consumables.
poll. We have to do
Yeah.
the poll.
I forgot the poll, but that's
Yeah.
it. That was the other thing about that theory. That was the perfect ending, and I'm never going to have a perfect ending to this live stream. But yes, that was
What?
the
The
reason.
thing is
that-
Santa?
What is
It-
happening?
I don't know.
That, I'm sorry. Well, Scotty keeps talking. I'm trying to say that was the other part of the theory, is that you're not supposed to share your meals, and since Childs was willing to share the liquor, that he wasn't worried about drinking somebody else's food because he is the thing. And so that's another part of the theory of that.
You end the poll?
And I ended the poll. Yes, I remembered the poll, and people chose that humanity is saved. Both are humans, and they both die, and there's no birds or bugs or anything around, and everybody's okay forever.
Hooray.
And hooray. But 17% say Childs is infected, and both are infected. Is 8%, and nobody thinks McCready is infected, which makes sense. I just had to pick a fourth option.
That's just
for that
because
one.
everyone loves McCready. No one is willing to accept that McCready is the thing.
I'm waving at Kimberly in the chat. Kimberly.
Hey, Kim.
Okay, yes. Thank you, everybody. I will talk to you around next time, and go hang out at Doomcocks and have fun. Bye.
Yeah. I am the thing. I'm not.
Learn all that is learnable.
And the ways our differences combine to create meaning and beauty.
It has always been easier to destroy than to create.
May we together become greater than the sum of both of us.
Well, now you have something new to think about. Carry on.
I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
As Bertrand Russell once said, the only thing that will redeem mankind is cooperation.
We don't have to be mean, because remember, no matter where you go,